This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Sticks and it's your first time, am I right?
Yeah, it's my first time. I'm excited to be here though. Should be
Yeah,
quite an interesting game.
yeah, it's good to have you. It's good to have you, and I'm very much looking forward to see this. We've got Academy, obviously. We always start off in the lowest tier, but doesn't mean that it won't be entertaining, and especially with a side like these, it can always be entertaining. We've got Death Cloud in 6th for the Ignis Conference and ODL in 5th for the Glacies Conference, so a little bit of a back and forth between the sides. They're close enough in terms of goals and in terms of just how they played in general. Death Cloud went on a 4-6 record in league play, and ODL went on a 5-5, so it is looking like a good one for sure, and I want to know, how do you feel this matchup's gonna go?
I mean, as both of the teams are like mid-table, I think it's gonna be a quite interesting game to see how they play each other for the first time, I think. So yeah, should be quite like the level of the both teams should be like quite similar. So I think it's gonna be an exciting game.
Yeah, 100%. And the way today is gonna roll on is we'll have Death Cloud and ODL first. We'll then move on to Team Berserkers. Drengir will face the winner of this matchup, and then the last series of the night, we move on to the upper brackets, DSQ Livens versus Brave Arconics, and that one is definitely going to end up being a good one, especially since we hope that they can just kind of continue their run in that upper bracket. And just going to point out as well, the way these teams have kind of played throughout league play, it seems as though ODL, they're going to tend to be a bit more defensive. I think both sides will end up being a bit more defensive, and it's definitely going to be something to look out for, especially if any big issues come through, any sort of like whiffs coming out, any sort of mistakes. The defense will be very, very big for both sides, and this will definitely be a game of mistakes versus actual, plays, I feel like. And especially with how Death Cloud used to be, they had Hell in, they had Epsicath in, but they have now changed that roster to Undoing Sneeze and Rusty LX, so it's gonna be a good time, and I can't wait to see how it goes.
Yeah. Should be quite interesting.
And you can see there how the bracket is gonna line up for at least these next 2 days. We'll have Unitox Aspire and 20 recruits tomorrow, as well as Mistaken and Chrome. So be sure to tune in tomorrow as well. A bit more action from Academy. We'll have Prospect then on Thursday, Friday, and then we will have playoffs during the weekend, and hey, that just goes to show how much every team will want to be in with a chance on those prestigious days. The team stats over the league play season were quite close, to be fair. 20 wins to 18. We see there as well 20 to 23 in terms of losses. The goals for going a lot more in favor of ODL, and goals against also going fairly against them. But the saves are equal. The demos are actually favoring ODL quite a lot, and the shooting percentage as well being slightly higher. And looks like both these sides are quite fairly even.
Yeah, should be interesting to see how ODL plays, because like they won 50% of the games, but they also lost 50%. Because so I think a lot of this match is gonna be decided whether the defense is steady or not.
Yeah, it will be indeed. And seen some people mention that Glaciers was a lot harder than Ignis, but hey, you never really know. And doesn't necessarily mean that they will. Just because one conference may have been harder doesn't mean the other one will be. And you can see there the players on each team. Cannibal and Space Chris playing more for Deathcloud. You see there Rusty and Undoing Sneeze recently being brought in for Hell and FC Copath. And you can see as well Andre and Drick Buckets being the main players for ODL, doing what they can, and have done very well to get this team where they are right now. And we'll see whether or not they can keep that going.
Yeah, I think that is gonna be in the advantage to ODL that they have like a team that already played like the whole season together. But I'm also
Yeah.
curious to whether that Cloud has already had that kind of team feeling that will have them to win the games.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see the differences between them, especially due to those two players coming in very late on in the league play season. But, you know, from the looks of it, I don't think it's affected them too much. They had to play Aspire in the final week, and they had to play Rash in the final week. They did win against Rash, but lost to Aspire, so we'll have to see whether or not they can handle the cross conferences of it all. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to get into this game. I believe we're missing one player. I think from ODL. Yeah, I think we're missing Endrick so far just in the lobby, and then we will get this one underway as soon as we can. But yeah, so hopefully it'll be a good time. Deathcloud, ODL, wanting to keep their seasons alive. This is fight for elimination, remember? So it all ends on this. If whoever does lose tonight will unfortunately be done for the season. The winner goes on to play Team Berserkers to get into those playoff spots, and both sides are really going to want to be in there. And hopefully we can get underway. Try to get some Rocket League going. Well, good. We're having a bit of technical difficulties. It's the first time the producers are having to use a new system, so give them a second. Just obviously you want to shout out the production as well. Sweaty is being our man behind the scenes tonight, and he'll be the one making sure everything runs smoothly. And hopefully it can run smoothly. But let's hope that we can indeed get everything underway soon. Yep, there's the hype chamber coming up. ODL, Deathcloud. It is a fight for your lives in these play-in spots. And hey, it's going to be an important match for sure. Let's get some Rocket League underway, shall we? And let's hope that this will be a good series. game one underway. Andre getting the better on the kickoff. Cannibal is into the corner, gets bumped off the ball, so Endrick has a free touch off to the backboard. Buckets bumped away from Cannibal, so it's done well. Andre being last back, doesn't have much boost, has to just kind of delay the pressure. Does well to find Buckets in that center field. Can he find the double? No, it's not on target, so Undoing Sneeze is able to get that one away for now. Cannibal finding one touch, Rusty not able to follow it up, so Andre will be first onto it. Cannibal gets the clear out. Rusty's already downfield as well. Finds a 50 with Buckets, but it does go out. Undoing Sneeze being the first one onto it, trying to find a second touch. Does well to get a 50. So Cannibal is able to stay with it, plays to the midfield, but Buckets is there. Rusty couldn't dive on that one as both of his teammates were stuck in the corner. Undoing Sneeze does well to get past Endrick. Andre gets one in the midfield line. Rusty is up quickly, but not exactly the touch he would have wanted. Undoing Sneeze finds a 50, so Cannibal will have to be the first one onto that one. It drops onto the corner. Endrick is up immediately. Undoing Sneeze does well on the backboard. Rusty finding a 50 as well. Buckets is there. Couldn't turn it home, but did find Andre, and Endrick demoed away in the attack. So Cannibal will be the first one on it, continuing to go with it. Endrick is there. Can't find a 50. Buckets not able to find a touch either. Andre is low on low boost, so Rusty can pick this one up. It's stuck in the final third for ODL. Cannibal staying with it, plays a 50 with Andre, but it does get out for now. Rusty does well too. For Buckets trying to get it away. Andre being last back again on such low boost. You can see ODL's game plan so far, just they can't, trying to stay alive in that defense, and you can see Deathcloud making things difficult with the boost starvation. As Rusty is there, it's back onto the backboard. Can Andre find a touch? No, the shot is on, and Cannibal finding the first goal.
Yeah, was some great pressure from Rain, to be honest.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was first goal of the play-ins, and it's exactly the way they would have liked to see it. Endrick off that kickoff though, trying to find an early equalizer, not able to. Andre is there, the shot is on, and it's 1-1 in this game one.
Yeah, nice comeback from nice reaction from McGain. ODL's also coming into this game.
Yeah, and with that tied up now, 2:50 left on the clock, that kickoff just goes in, and Buckets will take credit for it.
Nice follow-up by Buckets.
Yes, he does well to get there in time, beat his opponent. So now Deathcloud are one down after being one goal up not too long ago. That bump isn't going to help out. Rusty, no touch. Buckets gets it cleared away. Undoing Sneeze does it well, gets one, trying to find a second touch, not able to this time, pops it high, but Cannibal was diving on it. So a bit of miscommunication coming out from Deathcloud. Rusty, no second touch, means it does get cleared away. Undoing Sneeze misreading the bounce. Cannibal does well on the 50 with Endrick, trying to stay with it, but leaves it then for Rusty, maybe called off. Undoing Sneeze finds one touch, but isn't able to turn that one on target. Cannibal is there though, the shot is on. Andre pushing up too far, and it's 2-2 now in game one.
Yeah. Well, that was a powerful shot. Nice placement.
Yeah, he did very, very well, and you can see already we are lined up for a good series. Andre, big whiff coming through. That could just roll in, and it will. Deathcloud find the lead once again.
I see a lot of kick-out goals.
Yeah, this academy anyway, it always tends to be quite the scoring game, especially off the kickoffs. Undoing Sneeze does well to try push that one forward himself. Endrick finding one touch. Buckets can't follow it up, so Cannibal is there first. Endrick staying on it, does well to take the catch around Rusty, trying to find another touch, maybe a pass midfield, but not able to get it far enough, so the commit the commit isn't able to come through. Cannibal does well to find one touch. Buckets is there. Goes to the sidewall, trying to push that midfield. Andre does get one. It's off the corner. Cannibal is first on it. Endrick couldn't commit to that one. The pass to the other side of the field. Bucket's able to intercept it well before Rusty gets a touch. Grabs one more. It's off the backboard. Andre, that's a big whiff. And as well by the defense of Deathcloud, but Rusty gets it away this time into the corner. Does well. Finds a touch as well to Cannibal. Endrick not able to find anything. Buckets will stay with this one. Finds one extra touch. Andre is there. Can he find the shot? It's off the backboard. Endrick not able to get there fast enough, but it sets up on Buckets, and he slots that one into the top left.
Nice shot from him without boost. It's not easy to do. Also right in the top corner. Just beautiful.
Yeah, very well played from ODL. They put the pressure on, kept it alive, didn't let Deathcloud breathe, but it is a tied game, 50 seconds remaining. Cannibal does well, finds one touch, trying to find Rusty in the midfield. The pop up, but it's not strong enough. Endrick with an easy save out. Buckets trying to find him again in the midfield. Cannibal is there, it's off the bar, and it's 4-3 now to ODL.
I'm curious if Ray's gonna have a response to this. Now ODL really put some pressure on them.
Yeah, they're gonna need to find an answer quickly. And it seems as though ODL don't want to let them. Buckets chasing that one down. We'll leave it after grabbing up the boost. Undoing Sneeze does well. 30 seconds left. Trying to just make sure that Deathcloud stay within their own half. Undoing Sneeze finding one touch. Cannibal not able to beat out Buckets this time. Rusty is last back. Has to get a touch. Does well to push it onto the backboard. Endrick is there. Cannibal finding one touch. 10 seconds. Counting down. It's off the backboard once again. Andre was there, but it's a great save from Undoing Sneeze in the last seconds. And it's not going to be enough, though, just yet. This ball needs to drop for ODL. And DCE are looking like they may lose this game one. But a last-second opportunity. It falls onto the ground at the goal line. And ODL will be happy to take that.
That was so unlucky.
It is an unfortunate chance for Deathcloud. Falls off on the goal line and just going to have to try and reset the mental after that one and hope that they can bring this one back in game two. And with game one, I forgot to say as well, we forgot to do our predictions. Now that I remember. You said, what did you say earlier? You said
4-2 to ODL.
4-2 ODL. I was thinking game 7 for Deathcloud in the end. And after that first game, it is looking better for you. ODL did well to keep Deathcloud away anyway. Cannibal having a good game. Rusty also having a good game. Buckets trying to drag his team over the line, and they did well to keep it alive. Game 2, Forbidden Temple. Deathcloud hoping that it goes the other way and they can, try and start some of their own momentum. And we'll have to see as game 2 goes underway.
Yeah, Buckets revving up the ball. Sneeze challenging. Cannibal in the air. Well, Buckets with a clear. Rusty takes over the ball. Puts it middle. Sneeze. And Andre has a 50 on that. Can you take the ball with him? It's an open net. Can Andre finish it? Of course. That's 1-0 to Rain. Yeah, to McGinn. Not bad. Shit.
Yeah, Hendrik is able to just take that open net with open arms, and does well to get ODL McCain on the board early on once again. As that kickoff goes to the side, Andre touches it back. Probably not the touch he would have wanted, so Buckets will have to pick it up. Does well to stay with it, but Undoing Sneeze finds a touch. The 50 comes through. Andre has one, no boost though, so can't really follow it up too well. Cannibal finding one. Undoing Sneeze is there. He set it up by Endrick, and it does indeed get launched all the way in. 1-1.
Yeah, this is exactly what we were talking about like those little mistakes that make scoring opportunities. This is gonna be a whole. This is gonna be a big part in the game.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just exactly what you want to see if you are Deathcloud. They find their way back after that loss in game one. After that last second drop onto the goal line, they found their mental once again. Rusty is there, finds a touch, does well to stay with it, tries to get it to the midfield, but Endrick cutting it out quickly. Cannibal is up with him, finds the 50. Undoing Sneeze is there, it's off the corner. Cannibal can try stay with this, can't put the shot on, but will be able to dive on Buckets. Rusty finding a touch off Endrick, but he does stay with this. A good fake coming through, takes out Cannibal from the play, but Rusty getting back just in time. Able to try stay with this one. No second touch, but Undoing Sneeze is there. It's off to Buckets. Sticks his ground and is able to get this ball away. But it's not going to be away for long. Deathcloud trying to keep the pressure mounting, trying to make sure that ODL are struggling. Undoing Sneeze does well to make things awkward for Buckets, but Andre stays with it. He has literally zero in the tank. Rusty finding a touch. Cannibal is up, and so is Endrick. Will be able to find the touch first. And Undoing Sneeze going to keep this one in the final third of ODL's half. Buckets gets a catch, ends up faking out Rusty as well. Can't stay with this one, but Undoing Sneeze, a big whiff also, trying to leave it. Buckets is there though, and ODL find themselves up once again.
Yeah. Rain didn't have much boost in the tank. Like, Sneeze was empty, Cannibal, almost no boost. So, was kind of a hard save.
Endrick finding one touch at the midfield line. Cannibal is there, but Endrick's not gonna go too far away. A great 50 as well, actually. Yeah. And it gives ODL a 2-goal lead.
ODL's looking comfortable now. Just now they need to hold this goal and be steady in defense. And then I think they can take home game 2.
And ODL with a bit of space, able to get another bit. Buckets just launching that one downfield. And Undoing Sneeze isn't able to get back in time. He had no boost, so that placement from Buckets is perfect, just far enough away. But Undoing Sneeze can't get back, and now we see 4-1, a bit of a safety net for ODL, so they can deal with losing 1 or 2 goals.
I think the pass from Andre back to the corner wasn't intended, but it's alright. Sneeze on challenge, brings it Buckets, takes the ball, brings it up. Rusty with a challenge. Oh, take challenge. They're struggling with the ball.
Yeah.
Ball goes in the air. Cannibal takes the ball. Goes for the air dribble. Gets the ball to Rusty. What a bomb from Buckets. From Rusty to Buckets.
Demo on the back line makes things difficult for Rusty. Tried to pinch it, but it just stayed in place, and Bucket's able to counter that mistake and is able to make sure this game 2 is really in favor for ODL.
Yeah. This will be a mission impossible for Rain to come back to.
Yeah,
We'll see if they still have an answer left.
it's going to be unlikely for them, especially as Bucket makes it 6-1. And Deathcloud, you may just need to think about going next and trying to understand what is remaining.
I think like the team feeling like ODL knows the players true and true because they already played the whole season together. So I also see that like ODL trusts each other a lot more than Rain does.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot less of a mess up in game compared to game one for ODL. Rusty, that's a big fake on Endrick. Buckets will be able to get there in time. Tries to stay with it. Undoing Sneeze, able to keep the pressure on. Endrick finding one touch, but it goes back to the midfield. Andre, that's not the touch you want to see. 30 seconds remaining. Andre gets the pressure for ODL. Endrick stays with it, but it's a demo onto him, so Rusty staying with it. You can see ODL trying to get that Brazil through. Cannibal gets a good save, but does get demoed by Buckets. Endrick finding a demo now on Rusty. It's just a bit of demo central as Cannibal now gets one on Buckets. And now the time ticking down. Game 2 going in favor of ODL. And Deathcloud need to figure something out quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have an answer to this because the way it's looking right now. After game 1, I was thinking this is gonna be a close game, but game 2 surely switched my vision. I hope Rain has an answer for this, or this is gonna be some quick games.
Yes, it will, and you can see there everyone in Deathcloud being under 300 points, everyone in ODL being over 400. So it was really just pure domination from ODL, really. Were able to keep their pressure along for so long. Deathcloud just struggled to escape. They couldn't find their way through. And Deathcloud actually call a timeout. So they'll have 2 minutes to figure everything out, understand what went wrong, and try to fix those mistakes because there's been so much they need to improve on.
Yeah, I think they don't put enough pressure on attack as well as on defense. I think they're a little bit too passive on defense, and they give ODL so much space. I think they're gonna need to fix that.
Yeah, they kind of main thing I think they need to get done is just kind of make things a bit more difficult for ODL. They're giving them so much time. The space is there. They can't even escape their own half. Try get some balls banged out. Just try to leave. Give yourself some time for a little bit. Just try and understand that you need to kind of just get that ball away from your own half, really.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit more calmed on the ball wouldn't matter. Like, would give them an advantage. Because I see when they're like receiving the ball, they just boom it away and give an ODL again possession of the ball.
Yeah, it's not exactly been the most controlled, shall we say, for everyone. But ODL have had a bit more time with it, have understood that they can kind of just stick with it. They can do what they need to do. They're playing their own game. They aren't letting anybody in terms of Deathcloud get any sort of pressure. So we'll have to see whether or not they can understand what they need to do and how to kind of make things a bit more awkward for ODL.
Time is almost over, and then we'll see if Rain has an answer into game 3.
Yeah, you're gonna need it big time. Timeout is now done. everyone joining their sides, and yeah, it's definitely gonna need to be a completely different sort of rain that we see. The kickoff going in favor of ODL. Rusty, that's a big whiff, so Endrick honestly could have left that and it might have gone in, but it does stay out for now. Deathcloud stay alive. Andre does well to get over one, sets up Buckets, but Rusty banging that one downfield. Buckets is with it, gets a catch on his own corner. Rusty finding one touch, undoing Sneeze back onto the backboard. Everybody is up for Deathcloud, and Buckets could go down the other way. The net is wide open, and ODL start game 3 with another lead early on.
Yeah, I think stress is also being a big factor in this. I think, like, Rain saw the ball just slightly up to the goal and they just thought, we jump. And if they all have the same thought, then you have, like, those triple commits, and those become fatal quickly.
Yeah, I kind of need to. The communication needs to be a bit clearer. Cannibal, a big whiff coming through, but Undoing Sneeze stays with it. Tries to grab a second touch, ends up faking out Endrick, but Andre does get that one cleared away for now. Buckets staying with it. Will go up high. Rusty at 50, but that just pinches downfield. Buckets makes it 2-0 all on his own in game 3.
Nice block from Buckets, too. He read it well.
Yes, he did. The 50 worked out incredible for him. As that kickoff goes in favor once again of ODL. Andre is there. Rusty, a good save to the corner, but Andre is waiting. Rusty gets a great 50. The dive was able to help his team out big time. Endrick diving onto Bucket's ball. Undoing Sneeze is there. The double not able to come out, but Rusty finds Deathcloud's first goal after ODL have had 7.
Nice pressure from Sneeze. Did that well, luring the defender up, so his teammate could score. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, Deathcloud finally having an answer, not going quiet for now. Bucket staying with it, a good dunk from Rusty, keeps this ball in ODL's half. Undoing Sneeze is there, tries to find the pass, it ends up finding its way into the net instead. And suddenly we have a tied game. Deathcloud finally looking like their previous selves.
Yeah, this is the Rain you want to see. Having answers to the pressure of the game.
Yeah, and we'll see whether or not they can finally find a lead within this game. As Hendrick goes with it, Cannibal able to stay, finds a demo on Buckets as well, so it's going to make the rotations a bit awkward. Gets another one on to Andre, but it's done. It's cleared away from Buckets. Did well. Hendrick staying with this one. Can he find a way to pass midfield? No, Cannibal was there waiting. Stays with it. No extra touch as Andre, the shot is weak. Buckets trying to turn it home himself, but not able to this time. Rusty goes to the skies, tries to turn it onto the backboard, but Hendrick is able to get a good touch. Undoing Sneezes there. Can he find a pinch midfield? He can, but Hendrick read it well as it was slower than he probably would have wanted. Hendrick finding one touch. Cannibal able to pop it up high, but Andre with low boost will just have to push it forward for Buckets. He gets a good 50. Rusty is there, will play it to the corner, tries to stay with it, gets it around Hendrick. Cannibal chasing it down. Buckets does well. Rusty will have no boost, so just going to try slow the play down a little bit, but Hendrick immediately capitalizing on the opportunity. Rusty stays with it. Hendrick is there too, off the ceiling, plays it to the bottom, to the ground, but Rusty does well to get a 50, and for now, it is still a tied game.
Yeah, oh, wow, well nice shot. Great reaction by Rain. Just below the crossbar, impossible to save.
A great shot coming through from Rusty, that's right. The pinch attempt from Buckets, not exactly going the way he would have wanted, finds itself into the midfield. Andre getting over Rusty, but Buckets will have to take it all the way back. And the bump is going to make things so much harder for ODL. Deathcloud finally being a bit of a nuisance in that back line. They're making things awkward for ODL. They are looking so much better compared to what they did in those first 2 games. As Bucket's going to try turning it, ends up Endrick getting the 50 with Rusty, but Cannibal getting to that ball first, gonna try find a bump, but Buckets does well to avoid it and get the touch away. That's a big whiff from Rusty. Endrick setting up Andre, but Cannibal is back in time. You can see Rusty trying to find a bump as well, but not able to for now, so it is still just a 1-goal lead for Deathcloud.
Yeah, I see. Arena's playing a lot quicker than they did in game 2. So I think that tactical timeout really did his job. They could have, they just reset their minds. Now they're playing like we saw in game 1.
Yeah, Undoing Sneeze, the shot not on target, so Andre and Endrick double committing onto that one. Buckets finds one good touch, tried to fake out Undoing Sneeze. Andre got to 50 with him, but Buckets has no boost to get to that ball first. Endrick demoed. Means that Andre will have a touch. Cannibal is there with it though. Gonna try get another to find Rusty in the attack, but not able to this time. Bucket stays with it. Gets around 2. Tries to play the 50 with Cannibal, but it doesn't go in his favor as the time taking down once again. Buckets is up. Deathcloud just need to hold on, and that ball stays up. Endrick staying with it. Tries to find an extra touch. Maybe try to leave it for a teammate. Not able to this time as Rusty pushes it up high. Finds a shot, and that's a great save from Endrick. But as the ball drops, Deathcloud find their first win in the series.
Yeah, it's great to see that Rain has a response to ODL. This turned out to be quite an interesting end. 2-1. Now, Rain's just going on a comeback, I think.
They will want to hope so, anyway. As the shots there, you can see 7-7, so it's not a case of one side dominating as much, but Deathcloud did look a lot better to how they did before, and they're hoping that they can keep that momentum going at least.
Yeah, and also the bumps from Cannibal really did his job. Like the rotation of ODL was a bit worse than they used to because of the bumps now and the demos. They constantly need to reset their rotations, and that's not easy to do if there's also puts a lot of pressure and on your net.
Yeah. Deathcloud hoping that they can stop ODL in their tracks now in Utopia Coliseum for game number 4. And ODL are just want to try and put the pressure on Deathcloud to get series point maybe, as Cannibal will try to follow this one up. Does grab the midfield boost, so he is able to stay with it, but Endrick does well in the skies with him. Rusty being not able to get to that touch. Cannibal, that's not one you wanted to see. Endrick is there, leaves the net wide open, but they were able to get back in time. ODL weren't able to punish this time, as Rusty finding one touch made things awkward for Buckets. Cannibal stays with it. Could he find the pass midfield? No touch coming through means Endrick is able to stay and keep ODL alive for now. Andre getting the clear out field finds Endrick, who just pushes it forward a bit more. Buckets the shot, it's off the post. Andre is there, the net was wide open, but he's found a way to miss the target.
This is so unfortunate. And now Cannibal has no plan. Oh, how the tables have turned.
Is honestly just... This is just Academy, really.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for ODL in the game, but Deathcloud, their luck was 100% with them. ODL not able to punish on the open net, and it sends Cannibal the other way as once again he tries to get another touch, ends up messing up Rusty really, as Undoing Sneeze being last back has to get that touch into the corner. Andre stays with it though. Rusty gets a clear out. Endrick just popping it high. Cannibal first man on, tries to get it down with one buckets, does well too. And Rusty being awkward will just try to get the clear out. Cannibal tried to push it further along, but ends up just stopping it in its tracks as Andre keeping with it, stay able to fake out Cannibal. Endrick is up, but that touch goes behind buckets. The shot could be on. Andre pushed it to the corner, and for now it stays 1-0 to Deathcloud.
Yeah, that got really had an answer to ODL. Well, ODL doesn't stop with putting on pressure on the range net, so there might be a reaction from ODL to this goal.
Yeah, they need to find some sort of answer. They don't want to let Deathcloud find a way to tie the series up. There was nearly an own goal there from Andre. It seems as though ODL are just looking so much shakier as the pass tries to go through. Undoing Sneeze is the last man back, will get the clear outfield. Rusty gets one touch so it pops up high, trying to do it alone, but Cannibal, a good 50, grabs the corner boost of ODL's side as well. A big whiff from Andre. Cannibal could find a way to push that one through, but Buckets does well to get it away. Rusty keeps it in the corner, however, trying to find a second touch, not able to. Endrick tries to follow it in the air, no second touch though, means that ODL have got to restart the attempt for pressure.
Yeah, ODL's really doing a great job at applying pressure. Now they just need to find an opportunity to shoot at the goal. And maybe here it is, Andre? And the clear from Cannibal. Buckets now. Fakes. Ball drops. Hendrik going up. Buckets has ball now. Buckets up. Can he find a shot? It's a shot on. Nice save from Rusty.
Yeah, ODL finally having a bit of attacking pressure. It goes down to the Deathcloud corner, pops up high. Can Buckets find the touch? He does well, but Rusty able to get a free catch onto it. Endrick trying to race back. Rusty gets it around two of them. It's off the post, as no touch from anybody on the side of ODL means that the pressure stays alive for Deathcloud. Bucket's going to get the clear away, ends up bumping his teammate as well. Rusty is there, the demo on to Endrick means that Deathcloud have a free chance, but Buckets a good cut through in the midfield, keeps with it, tries to set up Andre, but Cannibal able to get that save away, make sure that it doesn't face too much danger. 30 seconds remaining. Deathcloud still just trying to hold on. Andre pushes it off the ceiling. Endrick there is able to get a good touch. Buckets not able to do too much with it as Cannibal dives onto him. Undoing Sneezes there. Endrick finds one touch to make it harder. A 10-second countdown once more. Undoing Sneeze finds one touch, gets it over Andre. Rusty has an open net, just needs to push it home, and Deathcloud do tie up the series.
Yeah. The 2-0, the reaction of Deathcloud is just spectacular. After that timeout, they really got themselves together. Now they tied up the series. That's just a great response. And now it's time for ODL to think about how they will deal with this kind of rain.
Yeah, ODL do need to figure out what went wrong in those last two games very, very quickly. They're going to take this minute just to kind of calm down, understand what happened, maybe make up their minds on whether or not this is exactly what they should be doing. But Deathcloud very happy, very able to just take their time. The momentum is shifting in their favor. ODL not going to take a timeout from the looks of it. And it means that Deathcloud will still have momentum, be able to push forward, hope that maybe they can find their way on to series point. And who knows, it could mean ODL face elimination after this next game.
Yeah, I'm also curious about how both of these teams could possibly play against Berserkers. It's a 2-2 game right now. Maximum of 3 games left, and it's just gonna be a fun game. Rest of the game to watch.
Yes, it will, and just as an FYI too.
Yeah,
When
and
it came,
I'm now just hoping that none of the teams like go under the pressure, because 2-2 in the first game, it's also gonna be like the heartbeats are gonna probably rise exponentially if it's a game 7.
yeah, they're gonna hope the game 7 goes in their favor if we do end up going there. And just as a bit of information as well, if Deathcloud were to win this, TBK did beat them in a 3-1 fashion during league play, so it will have to see whether or not they can try and get revenge for that if they do end up finding a way to beat ODL here, and they're gonna really want to find that revenge as the pressure is still building for Deathcloud. But it could go the other way. Endrick not able to turn that one on target. Rusty stays with it. Will be able to get a clear outfield, but no follow-up means Andre has a free touch. It's off the corner. He misses the boost, so that goes high. But just off target from Cannibal means Rusty trying to find a pass midfield. A good 50 from Buckets means Endrick gets a free touch. Will try to find a pass to somebody, but everyone turned away. So ODL aren't able to find a shot.
Yeah, Rain's really controlling the ball now. They take their time on the ball, and I think that's in their favor. Because in game 2 they rushed a lot on the ball, and now they just take a little bit more time on the ball, and it's blossoming. And that's also a very nice shot of Rusty. Puts it over the defender into the middle of the net.
Yeah, that is exactly what Deathcloud want. They want to put the pressure on ODL. They want to make sure that they know how much trouble they are in. Deathcloud doing well after that 2-game loss earlier. That's off the post though. Endrick getting credit for the save. Andre could go all the way alone as Cannibal missing the ball. It's a big whiff from both players who went up for that. Rusty able to clear the tension away from the goal line. Cannibal finding one, not able to find a touch. It's a big whiff coming through on Doing Sneeze, able to keep that one away from too much danger for now. It gets pushed outfield. Cannibal trying to stay with it, but Andre, first touch on Doing Sneeze does well. Endrick is there. Not able to get it too far away though, so the pressure is still mounting once again for Deathcloud. Endrick, the 50 with Cannibal, honestly goes in favor of ODL. This time Rusty gets that one away into the corner. Endrick stays with it, keeping the pressure alive. Buckets the shot, but it's saved away from Rusty this time, so Cannibal will pick up the pieces, get that cleared to the midfield line. Rusty does well to push it even further. Cannibal, the shot could be on. Buckets does well to keep it off to the backboard. Andre and I believe that was Endrick both committing to that play. Buckets over one on Doing Sneeze, not able to get a touch, so for now ODL still have the pressure. A demo and a Cannibal. It's going to make the rotations a little bit more awkward. Endrick staying with this one, but Rusty does get it over him this time, trying to find a bumper, demo, or some sort of nuisancy for Deathcloud, but it's just not working out right now for ODL.
Yeah, ODL has really got to put a bit more pressure on Rain. Because if it continues like this, and they don't even get the ball to the other side of the field, there's probably gonna be another goal, and then they're in some kind of trouble. They only have a minute left, so the ball needs to be on the other side of the field if they wanna have a chance at winning this game.
Deathcloud keeping their lead strong for now. ODL really needs some sort of pressure and actually get a shot on target. Speaking of, Endrick slotting that one into the bottom right.
What a placement also. Yeah. Barely. Very close to the post too. That's just incredible placements from Andrew.
Yeah, got it around everybody on Deathcloud. The shot is on Endrick. Coming through with a save there. The 50, not really the greatest, but it does get downfield. There could be an open net here. Endrick giving ODL the lead once again.
What a turnover in this game.
ODL.
Great redirect from Endrick.
Yeah.
Put a lot of extra power on that shot.
Great play coming through from ODL this time. They are keeping their hopes alive for play-ins or playoffs. Undoing Sneeze, finding a good 50 in the air. Cannibal is up, but so is Buckets, able to beat out the Deathcloud player. Rusty, being last man back, didn't have much boost, but was able to take his time and get that ball away. 10 seconds, counting down. Deathcloud could be looking at elimination point here. Rusty finding one touch. Cannibal is up, but so is Rusty. The double commit isn't going to help out. That could drop in, but Endrick does well to keep it away. It's off the corner. Undoing Sneeze finds one touch, and it gets put down by Andre, and ODL are on series point.
Yeah, ODL really found a reaction, a response to the pressure of rain. They turned the game over, and now they're on match point.
Yeah, and it is deserved so far from ODL. So they will want to get this one done and dusted within Game 6. Neo Tokyo, a place where dreams are made and also where they have been crushed many, many times before. No matter the tournament, no matter the players, Neo Tokyo is a place people need to have their wins come through. So,
yeah, Neo Tokyo is also a great map, to be honest. I love playing there. Just the sound and the light. It's not too bright, not too dark. It's just all chills and all vibes. Just looks incredible, this map.
yeah. And Deathcloud will want to take Neo Tokyo in their favor as they are looking at elimination. And ODL could go on to face Team Berserkers after this series. Game 6 underway, and immediately there's a demo on Undoing Sneeze and onto Rusty. So Cannibal has to do the attack himself for now. Undoing Sneeze is up, finds a touch, but it's not exactly the one he would have wanted. Buckets up quickly, finds a shot, and it only took 16 seconds for ODL to find the lead.
Yeah, Buckets really wants to win this game, I think. And now Rain needs to have a response, or it's game over for them.
Yep. And they are hoping that they can hold on to that lead for now, as Deathcloud trying to find an equalizer quickly. It's a big whiff coming through from Undoing Sneeze. So Cannibal finding a touch. Sneeze is there once again. Andre gets it away from now, keeps it in this corner, gets 50 with Rusty, but it goes in favor of Deathcloud. Buckets getting a clear outfield. Undoing Sneeze is there, but Endrick gets the better of him. Can he find a way to make this lead 2? Not quite yet, as Rusty gets the ball away. It meets Buckets at that midfield line. Undoing a sneeze, finding one. Buckets was there though, gets the dunk. Andre a 50, it doesn't work out in his favor. And so far, minute in, and ODL keep their lead at 1-0.
Yeah, that was great control by Hendrik, not to push the ball into the defender.
Yeah, and ODL still trying to hold on. They're just surviving right now in defense. Undoing sneeze does well to get around 2. Gets bumped, so it makes things a bit harder for him to keep the pressure alive. Buckets is still with it. Gets over Cannibal. Rusty not going to go for a touch just yet, so Buckets will leave it for Hendrik. Able to fake out Rusty this time. The touch midfield. Cannibal able to get that ball away for now. Trying to stay with us. Picks up the midfield boost, but it's not going to be in time. As Andre first onto it. Rusty stays with it, trying to find a 50, but it does get pushed to the sidewall. That one could drop. Hendrik reads it well. Trying to get a second touch, not able to. Gets cleared out by Buckets. Rusty, last person back, about 30 odd boost in the tank. Hendrik is there. Plays it to the side. Cannibal will take the catch. Gets demoed by Hendrik, but that could have been an own goal. Andre getting back in time. Keeps ODL's lead alive. Cannibal taking a touch. Actually ends up missing and misreading the bounce. It's off the backboard. Sneeze stays with it. Every player apart from Andre up in the air for that one. And it works out in favor of ODL. Hendrik staying with it. Ends up missing the second touch. Buckets with it now. Gets a clear out. Gets a demo on Cannibal. Makes the rotations harder for Deathcloud. Buckets off the backboard once again. Hendrik is there, but not able to find the target. So Deathcloud still have hope in this game 6.
Yeah, ODL's really putting a lot of pressure on Rain, and they don't really give them a chance to like go and score, to find that equalizer.
Yeah. Hendrik finding one. It's off the post. So DZ stay alive for now. As Andre is there, finds a 50. Buckets going with it. Trying to do something himself. Gets it away from Undoing Sneeze. Stays with it as well. Maybe trying to find a bump on Cannibal. Not able to this time though. It's off the ceiling by Cannibal. A double commit coming through. Meetings Buckets left alone. But does well to deal with the pressure. Hendrik no boost, so can't really do too much here. Rusty finding a clear out. Andre is there though. Gets one touch. It drops down to Rusty. Buckets a clear out. Trying to make things awkward for Deathcloud. Does well to do so. Andre, the shot is on. Cannibal does well to keep it away. And stays with this ball for now. Trying to give Deathcloud some sort of hope.
Yeah, Deathcloud now has 1 minute remaining to find that answer. But here, Hendrik, Buckets with a shot. And it's 2-0. This is gonna be the killer goal for Rain. Or not.
The nail in the coffin likely for Deathcloud. ODL do so well to keep that pressure alive. And a great shot coming through from Buckets as well. The fake from, I believe it was Hendrik. Just make sure that the defense doesn't know who's shooting. Hendrik staying with this one now. Able to find Andre in the midfield, but it does get cleared away. Rusty trying to chase that one down. Buckets finds a touch. It sets up Hendrik to get the clear out, but a demo onto him makes things more difficult as Buckets trying to just get a touch, but it doesn't matter. Undoing Sneeze finding a goal, and Deathcloud have a lifeline.
Yeah. Now they just need to keep applying that pressure, and maybe they can find the equalizer and get us into a game 7.
We have 20 seconds to try get something, but Cannibal AFK means Buckets gets a free goal, and you have to think that might be done and dusted for Deathcloud. Cannibal disconnecting, I think, from the match, and ODL look to be on their way to fight TBK for a chance at playoffs. And even though the players were maybe thinking about a pause, but it doesn't seem likely, as it's not allowed after a goal or after a minute is gone. So the kickoff once again going in favor of Deathcloud. This ball needing to drop, and ODL will go on to face Team Berserkers, and Deathcloud do indeed get eliminated from play-ins. It's the end of the road for their season. It's unfortunate that Cannibal ended up disconnecting, but hey, that is just the way things go. And Deathcloud not happy with the way that one has gone. ODL get to move on, and it is exactly what they were hoping for. A good result for McGain. Buckets, Andre, Endrick will go on to face Team Berserkers, Drengir, in the series after this. You can see there the series stats. ODL did look... It was a fairly even match, but ODL do indeed take it in Game 6. Neo Tokyo crushing their dreams here. And it's unfortunate for Deathcloud there. He would have hoped that they could keep that one alive. But hey, it is the way Rocket League is done, and it's just going to be McGain's day for luck. And I'll go to see the series MVP maybe. I don't know who it could be. I feel like it could be anyone on that ODL side, possibly Endrick, I would say. Hopefully he can prove that one as well against TBK. We can see here now. Buckets actually getting that series MVP. 11 goals, 8 saves, 3 assists. Nearly 3,000 points over the 6 games. A deserved series MVP for him, and a deserved win for ODL McGain here. And they will look forward to see TBK in the lower brackets for play-ins, and this is going to decide who makes their way into playoffs later on. But hey, a very good time. We are slightly behind schedule, so I will try. We'll go on a quick little break. You can see my co-caster did kind of his PC crash, so that's fine. But we'll have ODL McGain, TBK, Drengir after this break. So don't go anywhere too far. If you want to grab a snack, go ahead. But we'll be right back.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Welcome back, everybody, to the rsc-eu Twitch stream. We're here for our second match of the day. My name is Hodge. Joining alongside me for your next rendition of the Academy play-ins is Tazik. And Tazik, you just casted the game before this, where we got to see Majane take down Deathcloud Rain in a Game 6 fashion. It's now time to sort of move forward a little bit in the bracket, and, well, they've got their next opponent.
Yeah, TPK Drengir. So I think it will be a bit more of a difficult opponent in terms of everything, considering TPK did come fourth in Ignis, so it is slightly harder, but ODL did put away Deathcloud in, I wouldn't say necessarily an easy fashion, but it was definitely more one-sided towards ODL, so we'll have to see whether or not Berserkers can bring a stronger fight, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I certainly am as well. It's going to be a great match here between two sides who have, really had quite fluctuating seasons. You look at Berserkers, they've sort of one lost, one lost, one lost. It's been like that, it feels like, across the entire season, and their potential is to be one of the top teams in the tier. Let's see if they live up to that potential, because we've seen them bring it in some of those earlier weeks, not really since then. I'm looking at ODL though. They started off brilliantly, and since then it sort of felt like they collapsed a little bit during the second half of the season, and have been trying to sort of stabilize again. They've been able to do that to some extent, but now is where you're not looking for stabilization, you're looking for survival, because only one of these two teams will make it to Championship Saturday, and, well, that is going to be the winner of this series moving forward in the lower bracket, and playing against the loser of the series after this on stream, which is going to be Brave versus DSQ in that upper bracket. So a lot to play for here, and, well, you can see the player stats on your screen right there, who's standing out, who isn't necessarily, but I don't really care about stats at this point in the season here, Tazik. I care about predictions, and that's what I'm coming to you for here and now. What's the prediction for the series? What are you thinking?
I do think Team Berserkers will be able to take this one, but again, it's going to be a close one once more. I do think it could go to Game 6, maybe Game 7, but I think Team Berserkers can take it in 6.
Thinking Team Berserker is going to take it in 6. Okay. Well, I don't know. This one's a difficult one. Give me ODL in 6. Give me ODL 4-3. And we'll see how this one is going to unfold, because the teams are in the lobby. They are ready to go. So we'll tell them to go. We'll tell them to get themselves onto the pitch, and we will kick off this first, the second series of the day. This first game of this series. It's time to go. I kind of pre-jumped the production a little bit. I'm very, very sorry, Sweaty. But regardless, the players are on the field. It is time to get things underway. Berserkers Drengir, ODL Majane, only one moves forward to the Championship Saturday playoffs.
Yes, they do, and both sides wanting to get pressure quick. GT Thunder, a great catch, finds it past the Mather, but it's just off target this time. So ODL stay alive for now. Bucket's trying to find a pass over to Endrick, not able to this time. It's a good touch from Damo. trying to find GT Thunder in the midfield line. A good 50 coming through from Andre. It's a pass again into the midfield, and Mather, a great 50 just to push that one in.
Yeah, the first goal secured here. It is Dark Soul who dominates in the 50. And it's this Berserker's side who are showing up already in the first, not even 30 seconds. And this is what we look for from some of these teams who are those fourth seeds who come in, don't necessarily get quite as much of a warm-up. They don't get to play on the on-stream, in-series environment. Just like that fifth or sixth seed team who is coming up, like this ODL side did. And it's about, you know, this fourth seed side that Berserkers is, can they adjust? Can they warm up into the series nicely? Well, already seeing that, some good signs of that being the case.
Yeah, they are now stuck back on that defense. They do get away. Buckets getting one touch, won't be able to get past Damo this time. Damo in the murk, a bit of a unusual car, shall we say the least, but Andre has been in the skyline all night, so we'll see whether or not it works out for Berserkers this time. Andre staying with it, gets a 50 with Mazer, but it does go long. GT Thunder being the first one onto it, gets a touch out. Endrick getting a big bang through, finds Damo though at the midfield. Buckets being the first one on that one, the shot comes through, and it's a tie game once again.
Yeah, a team so dangerous it only felt like it was moments until they would respond. And it's Buckets who taps it in. ODL Majane on the board. And it already feels like this is going to be a bit of a blockbuster between these two teams here, Tez. About a minute and a half in, and we're seeing some good signs from both of them. But here's a bit of a double commit from ODL. GT Thunder downfield, ready to punish potentially. Couldn't quite find the beat onto Andre, who will sort of keep the backline safe here for ODL. And Endrick to sort of guide it up the wall. Look to pass this over to Buckets. Very little boost, but the speed is still there from ODL. And, well, they're going to look to continue to press this attack. It comes from Andre. It's over to Buckets, but the shot blocked there by Damo.
And they are both sides holding on to this tie for now. They're just trying to test the waters as well, especially with each side. They haven't played each other before, so they are wanting to see how the other plays. Mather a big miss, but Damo will be able to get it cleared away. Mather staying on it, but no touch means Endrick gets a freebie, sets up Andre for another, but it's not too far away from him for now. A touch off of Mather means it will stay in the midfield. No one at the ball for quite some time, but Buckets eventually getting a clear out, trying to find a bump on GT Thunder, but not able to do this time. Andre meeting that ball at the halfway line. Damo, another clear out. It's a bit of ping pong action from both sides, but that has to be expected in this game one.
It absolutely does. It'll be Damo who's rising to the occasion and rising up to challenge that ball. Dark Soul will recover this one from the corner. I'll beat it away very quickly though, and the miss comes through from that ODL player, so I guess pressure's still going to be put on here by Berserkers, although it will be hit back over by Buckets. Endrick waiting to get a touch there. Will that roll into the net? Not quite. Great block from GT Thunder, but the shot back involved is Andre. Buckets the follow-up, can't quite place it. ODL a great attack, but they just couldn't quite get the strike where they needed it.
Yeah. We know as well, especially from the player stats that you would have seen earlier, both sides are very good at defense, and you even seen it from ODL in the last series. They made sure Deathcloud had a hard time to find the back of the net. Damo nearly finding a way to 50 that one through. The pass all the way over to the other side, a double commit coming through as well. Mather not able to get a touch. Endrick keeping with it, takes it, soft one, tries to stay with it, gets a good 50 with Damo. It finds its way out to Buckets, finds a shot and gets it around both of the defenders, and will give the lead to ODL this time.
They absolutely will. ODL, an offensive masterclass it has been for the past few minutes. They've just not quite been able to find the target until now. And now 1 minute left of this game, they take the lead. Berserkers gonna have to try and find something back in GT Thunder. Well, not really the best aerial there. Damo is gonna plant himself on this back wall. To pop up, but that's got to be followed quickly, and Dark Soul is there. That's a great challenge. That's a great 50, but is it in? Not quite. Bucket saving it with some help from the post. Dark Soul floating to come back for more, but saved downfield nonetheless. Berserker's going to feel a little bit robbed there, Tez, but in the end of the day, it's still the lead held by ODL.
Yes, it is, and they are having a few sighs of relief, shall we say, as that one was a very, very close opportunity for Team Berserkers, but Hendrik will bring this one to the side, tries to take it up high, finds one extra touch, it's off the ceiling. Mather able to get the 50 with buckets away, and GT Thunder not able to find a way outside of his own half. The shot could be on for buckets, but it's a good 50 from Damo. The clock ticking down, 5 seconds remaining, and ODL looking like the better side in this game one, and do take it in good fashion.
They absolutely do. ODL Esports, well, their Academy Majane team have certainly showed up to play here off the back of their series win against Deathcloud Rain earlier on before this. A wonderful, wonderful way to start a series for them. Berserkers Drengia, you know, it felt like they sort of had their moments. It was really on the counter-attacks where they looked quite threatening there, Tez, but it's not going to be that. You've got to control the possession. You've got to control the midfield, or things will just spell out of control. And you saw it right there. It sort of did. And Majane just essentially, you know, they just had control. They just were able to keep on putting shots into the end of this Berserkers Drengia side, and it was, you know, paying dividends time and time again. And, well, in the end, got them that lead, got them that second goal, got them that game number 1 victory. That can't continue for the rest of this series. It's all going to be having 1 or 2 games to sort of warm up into it, but you've got to get a hand on things soon. Maybe Forbidden Temple is where they're going to do that. Maybe it's game number 2, and, well, maybe the questions are going to be answered in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, and Buckets getting the 2 goals for ODL. He's been their standout offensive player with, during league play, 42 goals in 38 games, and he did more of the same against Deathcloud, and he's doing it again here against TBK, and it's exactly what they want to see. Game 2, can Buckets keep that offensive pressure for them, or will TBK finally get some of their own?
Well, I have to find out. And Dark Soul is dancing on ice here to kick off game number 2, but maybe it'll work out because GT Thunder was almost able to cross that one into the box. Hendrik gonna drop it back over to Andre. And some not really favourable touches here by ODL. Maybe Berserkers are going to be able to punish, and as much as Dark Soul's still going to fly in, won't find the back of the net on that occasion. Hendrik attempts the reset, it's going to drop down. Majane, a little bit mixed up here in the midfield, but it's going to head back on over as Berserkers look to try and put a little bit more threatening of touches on target. Buckets now with a chance to punish on the attack. He's looking for the pass over to Andre. Can't quite get it past the last defender. And didn't really have the boost. Nobody did on ODL for that attack, but at least that space that they've bought themselves is going to, you'd imagine, give them a little bit of freedom to work with in terms of refilling the tanks and getting back in a good spot to defend this. And, well, you'd think so, but it's Academy.
Yep, and Mather will be able to slot that one in the right-hand side. Everyone on ODL just not able to find anything. A great bump from Damo as well, so it gave a freebie for Mather to find the back of the net, and TBK finally finding the answer in game 2. Buckets trying to just turn back around, try find some sort of touch here onto that ball, ends up turtling onto the floor. Hendrik gets the clear out, ends up finding Buckets, and that is a good read. Mather is safe, but it's not enough, and Buckets once again finding the back of the net for ODL.
Well, it's technical masterclasses here for ODL. As much as they might crumble in front of their own net with some of those defensive saves, maybe not going the way they would have wanted, and Berserkers taking the early lead, they show their class in terms of those rebounds, those counter-attacks. That's what you're going to be looking out for from some of these players. The mechanical wizardry from the likes of Hendrik, and some of those bumps coming in from Buckets as well. As I say that, it's Hendrik who finds the bump. It's Hendrik who looks to try and sort of wiggle that one around that defender. but it will be back over to the defensive side for ODL as Berserkers look to pounce again. GT Thunder, that's a wonderful pop over to Dark Soul, looking for the back of the net, and GT Thunder dives in again to try and find the target, but Berserkers not quite finding it. Endrick has to sort of recover there and can't quite get the half flip perfect. Dark Soul finally slams it into the back of the net, and Berserkers finally have their lead again.
Yeah, very well deserved one. Just made ODL extremely awkward, and Mather, as I said about Buckets having the offensive masterclasses for ODL, Mather Dark Soul has had them for Team Berserkers 39 and 35 games, so not too far off in terms of ratios per game, but we'll have to see whether or not they can keep their sides in the lead. Buckets not able to find a touch, neither was Andre. He also died for that one, so makes things a bit easier for Team Berserkers to get out of their own half. Damo staying with this one, trying to find the pass midfield. Buckets and Andre diving on it to get it away. GT Thunder, a good 50 comes through. Will trying to find a second touch, not able to. Endrick had that one on target, but Damo able to get it away from the goal line. GT Thunder getting the clear out too. It meets Endrick in the midfield. Andre finding one, but it just goes to Mather on the backboard. But for now, the pressure is still mounting for ODL as Team Berserkers trying to get out of their own half. Mather maybe finding a shot. It's off the post, and Buckets gets a good 50 to make sure it stays away. Could he find the double himself the other side? No, and Endrick not able to turn that one home. So for now, TBK keep their lead alive.
Certainly do. It's scrappy from both of these sides, though. There's openings and opportunities anywhere you look. And Buckets is going to fire this one to the back wall once again. Damo jumping up to send this one down the other side, followed instantly by Dark Soul, beating out that ODL player on the challenge. The GT Thunder back involved to the back wall. It will go. Bucket to pop up. Endrick, again, just keeping the possession into the side of ODL, but that's going to do quite the opposite and hit it away. Endrick, bit of a missed touch. Dark Soul, great redirect over to GT Thunder, who looks to go for goal and add to the lead of Berserkers, but not quite going to find it, and, well, ODL holds strong.
They do for now. A demo on to Damo means that this ball will eventually find its way back into the blue half. Mather taking a touch. It ends up bouncing around on his car. A 50 with Buckets goes down the other way. Damo trying to push this one back into the corner. Endrick is there waiting. Andre, no shot coming through, which means it does eventually find its way out of the TBK half. Mather finding a shot, and it's not able. It's too far away, sorry, for Andre. And that makes it 3-1. And surely game 2 going in favor of Team Berserkers.
Yeah, Dark Soul, the demon that is haunting ODL in some of these attacks. Berserkers were not fazed by that game number 1 loss. Bouncing back immediately, but still chances here with 30 seconds left for ODL to really change the tune, but you've got to put this goal in soon, and, well, they're not going to be quite able to as they're sort of reversing, they're backflipping, they're attempting to create an attack, but meanwhile that timer is just ticking down. All that this Berserkers team have to do is keep that ball close, open net down the other side. Thunder going to look to punish, and, well, saved away, but the game, nonetheless here, Tez, will go the way of Berserkers Drangir. Few seconds left on the clock, and the series is leveled.
Yes, it is, and a well-deserved win from Drangir. That one even nearly finding its way into the back of the net. Nearly had an extra on for the road, but Mather getting the MVP. All 3 goals going his way, so Drangir really are going to be thankful for him. You can see as well, though, Damo getting 3 saves, making sure that that lead was staying for the side of Team Berserkers. And yeah, it's just an incredible victory for them, and a well-deserved one, able to tie that series up.
Yeah, absolutely. Tying the series up, and, well, I think this one, regardless how you look at it, Tez, could go the distance. I know you've gone for a 4-2 at Berserkers, I've gone for a 4-3 to ODL, but yeah, I mean, this one, any way you look at it, I feel like it's destined to be a close one. Even if it ends in 5, I feel like it's going to be one of those situations where the individual game states are going to be close, and it could just be one team winning out, you know, more of the times. But yeah, we're going to get game number 3 started soon, and it's great to see Berserker's Drengia with that rebound there. Hat trick for Dark Soul. And it was so crucial in that game. You know, not necessarily with the most mechanics, but the positioning for the Academy tier was, you know, certainly better than I've seen most players position in this tier. It felt like he was always there ready in that second man position, which, to be honest, in Academy, you just don't see a lot of the time.
Yeah, you never do. It's good to see some sort of actual rotations coming through, especially in the ACAD tier. And, you know, it is a rare sight to see in this level, but it is one that's coming out, and maybe they're not able to get a good touch there. The start of game 3, the pressure favoring ODL really currently is. Andre could make a good chance out of a double miss on the defense of Team Berserkers, but the demo from Mather will keep it out for now. Andre, not the greatest touch, so Bucket's going to push it back to the side, picks up the corner boost, has to just slow the play down. Mather diving onto him, not letting him have any breathing room. GT Thunder is there as well, finds the touch that goes out to Demo, but a shot not strong enough for Endrick to stop, and it's able to find a way to go the other end. ODL taking the lead in this game 3.
Yeah, it's a great pop there from Buckets. Endrick just gets the touch that's required, and it's golden goal here for ODL in the first few seconds. They take the lead in game number 3. They're going to look to try and add to that as well. Reminder, loser of this series knocked out of RSC-18. Their journey will end here and now. The winner, though, well, they get to play again on Saturday against the loser of our next series on stream. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a blockbuster. You look at the two sort of teams involved. Brave versus DSQ. But for now, it is Berserkers versus ODL. And it's going to be a close affair the whole way through. A wonderful layoff from Damo over to Dark Soul. The striker once again here for this Drengia side.
He's gotten every single goal for Team Berserkers so far in this series, and he's hoping he can pull them away from this ODL side, as GT Thunder not able to do much this time. A good 50 coming through from Damo. Goes downfield. There's a demo on the back line of Team Berserkers, so rotation on offense is going to have to be careful. That's a big whiff from Endrick. Mather could put this one on, but a great 50 coming through from Andre. Damo staying with it, gets a dunk. Mather's quickly onto it, but so does Andre. So the 50 comes through. GT Thunder getting one touch. It bounces off the corner. Buckets will be the first one onto it. Makes Mather have to backtrack. Andre, being the last man back, does well to keep this one out of the ODL goal. And for now, the pressure once again, the net wide open. Andre not able to get back, and finally someone from Team Berserkers other than Mather finding the goal.
Yeah, the lead reclaimed by Berserkers Drengia, who are looking to absolutely masterclass their way into Championship Saturday here. It's Damo who's now going to fire that one downfield, followed up there by Dark Soul. The demos, though, defensively to buy themselves some space from ODL, and it certainly worked wonders. Buckets will find one downfield. This is the attack now starting to brew. Andre's missed the touch, though, and Buckets has to sort of cut that rotation immediately, put a stop to that almost. And, well, it will be back to square one here for this ODL side, and it's Berserkers who are sort of sending them packing. Dark Soul, touch out from the corner. And it feels like every time, Tizzy, that this attack starts to get going for ODL, they get downfield and then it's just instantly cleared away. It's almost like all their hard work just results in nothing because they sort of lose that possession and clear the ball too quickly.
Yeah, and it's not what you want to see. Mather getting a demo there as well, and Bucket's the last man back, but Andre does well to keep this pressure away from the goal. Endrick getting one touch. GT is there after the miss from Bucket, sorry. And Endrick is able to just about get that one away, but it's not for long as GT Thunder looking for a double tap. It's off the bar, and Damo not able to turn it home this time. So Mather, a big whiff coming through. Andre has the time, but not much as Mather trying to find a demo. GT Thunder is able to keep that one away. Buckets finding one touch, back up to Endrick. It's off the backboard. Andre not able to get the shot off. And for now, Team Berserkers hold on to their lead, but it's not a safe one just yet.
No, it absolutely isn't. And Buckets is now going to look to try and find a reason to make sure it's not a safe lead. Make it not a lead at all here for this Berserkers side. And Buckets bumped back into it by Dark Soul. Hendrik should have a free ball here, and that's going to be a pop-up. But nobody on the ODL side there to challenge. It's a pinch. It's a miscommunication, perhaps. It's, you know, I guess just things going wrong for this ODL side. And, well, they might be about to drop game number 3 in the next minute if they're not careful and go down 2-1 in the series. Hendrik to the corner, to the back wall, followed up by Buckets. Andre going to have to take things back here. And Hendrik re-intervenes, but the attack, just, you know, once it gets out of that first half, it looks a little bit lifeless and disconnected from ODL, whereas the defense and the clears from this side, you know, of Berserkers, a lot of the time just looks, you know, perfect. It looks like they just do what they need to.
Yeah, they are just making sure that this ball doesn't stay in their half for long. So Bucket's gonna have to pick it up. 30 seconds remaining. ODL, no answer yet to the deficit on their screens. Buckets not able to get a second touch. Hendrik is there. The attacks are looking lifeless for ODL as Andre has to pick up his own corner, get a bang out. Hendrik trying to find a touch. Buckets up as well. Mather gets a good catch, trying to pinch that one, but not able to as the timer ticks down. Andre not able to get a shot off. Damo picking it up from the corner. This ball just needs to drop for Team Berserkers, and they're gonna make sure it does as GT Thunder picks up the 50 and TBK Drengir are 2-1 up in the series.
They are, and they are coming alive at the perfect time here. Drengir winning game number 3. And, well, just looking to add to their tally in goals. I mean, you talked about it before. Dark Soul coming into this game, scoring all the goals here. GT Thunder picking one up for himself. But Drengir as a team are just playing perfectly around each other for the most part, Tez. And that's what Majane are lacking. They're having some great individualism with some of these saves, with you know, a couple of these shots here and there. But the team play and the way they play around each other isn't sort of sound enough to where they're able to capitalize on some of the great things that they're doing as individuals, right? I mean, you've got incredible shots, incredible demos coming on, but whenever it happens, you know, Buckets finds a demo into the back lines. The other two are just at the other side of the field. Hendrik has a masterful outplay, beating 2 people. The second man's nowhere to be seen. It just feels a little bit, you know, I guess empty, and almost like a bit of a solo adventure a lot of the time, but the solo changes depending on the game state. So we'll see how things go as we go into game number 4 in the Coliseum, but I think once Majane start to click together as a team, they'll have it down, because these are 3 players who we know can perform, we know can excel. We've seen it from them many times in the past. They've just got to do it as a team. And if they do that, they've got a chance. But if they don't, I could see them falling out of this series very, very quickly.
Yeah, and it hasn't looked the greatest from ODL, as you're saying, but they do still have some hope. That's a pinch coming out from Hendrik, and a very fast one at that, but Mather was able to get it cleared away. Buckets finding one touch. Hendrik playing it off the ceiling. Andre is there, but a double commit from TBK ends up working out. But everybody missing the ball right now until Andre puts it to the side, getting another touch. Will leave it for Buckets, who's trying to go alone. Can he find a shot? No. It does get pushed away this time from GT Thunder. Mather staying on this ball. It's played to the corner. Andre was there waiting. Damo going to launch that ball downfield. Hendrik doing quite the same. We're going back to what seems to be a bit of ping pong. Everyone just getting one hard touch away, and it's not exactly working out for either side.
It really isn't. Or maybe it is, because the player is in the center there. GT Thunder had the position right, but the read was there from ODL Majane on their defensive side. Andre gonna now look for a teammate in Buckets with a redirect, tries to find the top corner, the rebound off the post. Majane, magic, and they take the lead here to kick off game number 4.
That's a great shot coming through from Buckets, and Andre having the vision to spot him there makes sure ODL keep this lead. But they've had the lead, I believe, in every single game they've lost, so They're gonna need to find a way to actually hold on to it this time. Damo, the launch downfield, Andre just about able to get it away from Mather. And it's gonna be a redo for Damo. Finds the top right corner, and once again, ODL just not able to hold on to it.
Yeah, either a masterful fake from GT Thunder combined with a great shot from Damo, or Majane just academied. I think maybe it's a mix of both, to be honest there, but we'll see. A minute and a half into this one, and like you said, you know, it feels like every single game this ODL side are scoring first and then still, you know, not able to come out on top of it. Buckets pop up to the ceiling. Damo fires this one back over to the back wall. And Dark Soul already up for this, going to drop it down. That's such an awkward read, and Andre's just going to jump for it, find a touch, bucket to the bailout, and the demo as well to really pile on that pressure. But it's once again a case of, you know, Majane finding ways to break out, but not as a team, not fast enough. And they're just getting beat to the punch time and time again by Berserkers, who are finding the bumps, finding the positions, finding the redirects and the openings as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that time for Berserkers to not find the back of the net. Not able to get any shot on target, but 50 from Buckets leaves things awkward for GT Thunder. He has to dive on it. The pass midfield, Endrick going to be the first one onto it. Probably could have left it for Andre. He had a better chance for the shot, but I suppose whenever Endrick wants the ball, they're going to let him have it. Buckets finding a 50. Mather, first one onto it, trying to stay with this. The recovery wasn't the greatest, but he did find a way to get a 50 out to GT Thunder. Endrick getting a touch out, but it's not going to go too far. The demo isn't going to help either. Mather, a great 50. Damo, first one onto it. It's not on target, so Endrick finds one touch to the corner. Mather was there waiting, though, so the pressure is still alive until now it gets cleared away. Damo, a big misread. Endrick will be able to follow it up, and it's 2-1 ODL now.
Yeah, it is. It's a great follow-up there from Endrick. And he mentioned it, just a bit of a mistouch there. In the defense by Drangier. And ODL Majane fighting right back. Could think of no better place to do it than on a Coliseum, but that's only the beginning of this war, beginning of this battle for ODL if they want to come back. And well, that's certainly an angle that was threatened by Endrick. Would be a highlight one for sure in the academy tier. But to the back wall this will go. Drangier just looking to drop that one down. That's a great setup, and the follow is there from Damo. This is the team play that we talk about, Zeke. This is the sort of connections that you look for in teams who are going to go on and make the best chance at a lower bracket run.
Yeah, and that is a great drop down from Mather as well. Just about found Damo down there. He just about beats his opponent as well to the touch. Bucket, Endrick's no touch coming through there, leaves a clean shot for GT Thunder, but Andre getting back just in time, the savior of ODL. He's had the most saves on that side as well, but that 50 isn't gonna help, and 3-2 out of nowhere. ODL had the lead until about 40 seconds ago, and you can see that TBK want to send them home.
Yeah, Drangier starting to rein things in now. They retake that lead. They show why they're such a dominant force. And you talk about conference powerhouses, conference expectations. Coming into this playoff bracket, the general consensus in Academy is that Glacie's absolutely turbo gaps the Ignis conference. Well, look at what's happening right now on your screen. You'll see an Ignis conference is potentially a one game plus an extra minute away from making it out of the gauntlet here on day one of the play-ins here in Academy, with a second team potentially going to do so in the next series. We'll see. It's another war to talk about later on, but it just shows that expectations in playoffs, Tez, they go out the window completely. It's on the day form by a mile that wins you games. And expectations, stats on the big days, they mean nothing.
They do, and it's gonna be a big one, that's for sure, as the pass over to Andre isn't able to be found. Endrick finding one touch, he's going for the double, but it's not what he would have wanted. Just overextended his car, and with the countdown ticking, It seems as though ODL are looking at elimination. GT Thunder not able to get a touch, but it doesn't matter. They want this ball to drop. Damo finding the touch to get it far away, and Mather as well gets that ball down. Drengier on series point.
They absolutely are. Drengier 1 game away from making it to Championship Saturday here in the Academy tier and being the first team to make it through the play-ins gauntlet, the first of 4. And the timeout button pressed from this ODL Majane side. They're going to have 2 minutes to talk between themselves and think how they're going to be able to bring this one back. I mean, Tez, what do you even say from this point forward? It feels like, we've sort of repeated ourselves time and time again here. Nothing's really changing from the side of Majane. They're still having those solo plays like you saw from Endrick there. We've seen some great random team plays, but it's just not consistent enough to get past this Drengier side, who just looks so sort of in line.
Yeah, it's not been enough so far from ODL, especially after the way they won against Death Cloud earlier. You'd think they'd kind of just play into that, let that kind of play style continue, but they just haven't looked themselves so far. The offense looking lifeless every time. There's no follow-ups coming through. There's no risk being taken necessarily. And even then on defense, they're just not looking like enough. The wall isn't there. There's no real defense coming through. Andre being the only one who actually looks like he's trying on defense necessarily, but they are indeed going to need to find some sort of answer to this Team Zerker side. They've looked incredible, so we're going to have to see whether or not they can do it.
We'll certainly see. We will see. I mean, heading into game number 5 here, it's all to play for. It's all or nothing for this ODL Majane side, and I've been told that this is awful pronunciation. Someone feel free to correct me, but until I'm corrected, I'll continue to pronounce it wrong. So yeah, that's how we're doing things. But yeah, a couple of seconds left here on that timeout before we get started again here. And well, timeout is in fact over. So we'll go ahead and restart play in this series here, Tez. Do or die for both of these sides. Or not for both of these sides, sorry. Do or die for ODL. Final 5 minutes potentially of their season. Let's see what they can do to turn things around.
Yeah, Majane need to do a lot to try and do something here, to have some sort of hope left within this play-ins, find themselves at that playoff Saturday, like you said. But Buckets getting a demo onto GT Thunder, not able to, as Andre, not the best touch. Maybe they're able to get that one to the offense starting now for TBK. Damo gets a 50, trying to find the pass midfield, does well, but the shot not on target. It sets up GT Thunder though on the backboard. No second touch, but Mather beating out Andre means that the offense isn't over just yet. Trying to find a shot to 50. Goes along. Damo having to pick up the mid boost before even thinking about getting a touch. Andre not expecting the miss from Mather. Buckets getting a 50. It is going to escape for now after that whiff from GT Thunder, but Damo quickly getting it back in the orange half. Going to try find some sort of attacking presence for ODL. They're not able to escape just yet, and Mather trying to just make sure that it dies down.
Again, looking to try and play from the midfield here. Dark Soul already fast to that. Has been such a speedy player for Berserker's Drengier so far this series. It's worked out so well for them. But now Dark Soul will re-intervene, get this one back over to that sidewall where Endrick is waiting to try and cook some form of mechanical masterpiece down to Andre. The block there from GT Thunder. Buckets with a follow-up. Back of the net here as ODL Majane. Well, they might be on life support, but they're not dead yet.
And of course, it would be that man Buckets, the main goal scorer on the side of Majane. And he's hoping to drag them back into this series, try and give them some sort of life. And that kickoff nearly going in a huge favor for ODL as well. The 50 back into the corner of this blue half. Mather not able to get a touch. Endrick being the first one onto it. Sets up buckets. And it's 2-0 to ODL McGain. They are trying to make sure this goes to a game 7.
Well, so far in this series, the times that they've scored first, they've not won the game in the end, but they've not scored twice consecutively throughout this series. So maybe this is a bit of a different story.
Yeah, and it's exactly what they're hoping to see. The first time they've gotten 2 before TBK have gotten 1. This could be some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, but Mather gonna make things awkward for Endrick. Finds the pass down to Andre, but no touch comes through, so it gets pushed away for now. Bucket's able to get that one over the attacking players of Drangir, and GT Thunder gets it pushed away, trying to get the pass back, but it isn't enough quite yet, as Buckets gets dove upon. Mather Dark Soul not able to keep the attack alive for now. It seems as though TBK are looking a bit scared after the way ODL have come out of this tactical timeout. GT Thunder finding a touch, but Endrick immediately pushing it back into the blue half. Demo able to get it away for now. GT Thunder going to take a slow touch, trying to maybe find a pass midfield, but it's not enough. Andre pushing that ball forward. It goes downfield this time. A big whiff from Endrick, but Buckets gets the clear out, only met by Damo in the midfield. Andre finding one touch. Mather finding one as well, not letting anybody have any real time on the ball. As I say that, Mather trying to go alone. It's 50 to the side while GT Thunder finds one touch off the ceiling. Another touch coming through from Mather, sets up Damo in the air, doesn't have enough boost to get a touch. Endrick not even finding the target there. But for now, ODL still regain this 2-goal lead.
Well, they certainly do. Can they hang on to it, though? We've seen them drop goals quite, in consecutive fashion a couple of times this series, and the pressure will continue to be put on here by Berserker's Drangir. Dark Soul back into the mix of things, will be sort of bumped out of the play here. Some of these members on the pitch, and well, a bump onto one of those defenders as well. Buckets, such a difficult task, and still gets a touch. Andre as well. ODL putting up the brick wall of defense to try and get themselves a date with this Drangir side on Neo Tokyo, and now 30 seconds away from doing just that and forcing this series to a game 6.
Yeah, and so far they're holding well. Andre putting a bit more pressure on. It's just off the post. Andre not able to find the follow-up shot on target. Damo not getting that ball away. It gets dumped by Buckets. And ODL could find their second game of this series. This ball likely just needing to drop now for ODL. Buckets gonna make sure it does. And McGain have their second game.
They absolutely do. They 2-0 Drangir to bring themselves back into the series, to bring themselves back in with a chance of Champions Field. And that all rests on these next 5 minutes here, Tez. Will ODL McGain be able to bring things back to that 3-3 deadlock tie for that showdown on Champions Field? Neo Tokyo is where we'll find the answer to that. And, well, I have no idea what's going to happen, because that game felt so polar opposite to any game that we've seen. So the timeout buff obviously working wonders.
Yeah, it definitely did. And hey, who knows? It could mean some sort of momentum shift anyway, at least until the other timeout gets called, even if it does, that is. And Drangir are going to want to hope to find some sort of answer after that game. And McGain just played so much better. Buckets getting 2 more goals yet again for ODL. He is their top goal scorer for a reason. He is the main one bringing the pressure. And it has worked out in that game number 5. But Hey, Drengier just need to take it 5 minutes at a time. Game number 6. The place where ODL ended up winning last series. Can TBK keep that pattern going?
Under the neon lights of Neo Tokyo, this ODL McGain roster is going to have to continue to lock in, continue their regain, if you will. And Buckets is going to look to be the spearhead of that in the offense. Hendrick does get beat out, but finds that demo. So a little bit of space to work with here for Andre. Immediately challenged, but fakes it out beautifully. Now GT Thunder, last defender, has to get the beat on 2 players and does. And it's a double commit. So now the narrative shifts so quickly down the other side, but it's a whiff from Dark Soul. And well, that's the most Academy sequence of events I've seen in, you know, certainly the last 45 seconds.
Yeah, and that's exactly... It's good for ODL, that pressure not accounting to anything for now, but Endrick finding a 50 May there. Buckets is going to be first one on, finds Andre in the midfield. Endrick tried to get a redirect, but no touch means that Damon can find a bump and puts the pressure back onto this McGain side. Buckets trying to find a pass downfield. GT Thunder and I think that was Damo both trying to connect on that. I think they may have saved each other's shot.
Oh, well, you're not saving that shot. It's Buckets who hammers it into the dark depths of that Berserker's Drangia net. 1-0 for ODL McGain. And Neo Tokyo is certainly doing them kindly, but you feel like, you know, after what we've seen, scoring again would be nice from them. They're the records of converting game states when they go 1-0 up. Not wonderful, but they have an 100% rate of doing it when 2-0 up so far this series. So let us score again, and maybe Buckets is about to do that. Not quite. Dark Soul tap it out on over to Damo, as this Drangia side's going to look to create their attack of their own.
But it could go wrong, which it really has. Hendrick absolutely donking GT Thunder, not letting him have any of that ball, really. And it just crawls its way down into that net. And hey, this could mean good things for ODL. Like you said, 100% win rate when going 2-0 up. They are that now, but you'll have to see whether or not TBK are going to want to cut that stat in half.
Yeah, well, it's another shot. And it's times like this where experience pays off. This is a pitch full of experience for some of these players, but Hendrick especially knows what it means to go on deep playoff runs. And it, well, might not be quite at that stage just yet, but he's certainly been under high pressure situations before, where he needs to be the one to step up, where he needs to be the one to perform, and he's doing absolute wonders for his team throughout this game number 6. Another attempt, another setup, another shot. It's a 4th goal here for ODL McGain. They want Champions Field, and they want it now.
They are bringing it to Drangier. They are not letting them do anything, really. They are keeping them shut out for sure. 6 unanswered goals. Nearly 7.5 minutes. Sorry, make that 7 unanswered goals. And TVK just do not look like themselves.
Yeah, Dark Soul just so out of position there. They almost just look nervous. They look a little bit lifeless. They look, you know, like you say, not themselves here. Drangia, the weight of the pressure could crumble them. And Buckets is now having the confidence to sort of free flow around this pitch alongside his team. Unlike the early stages of this series, Tazik, where it really felt like it was Berserkers who were controlling the pace, and it was this ODL side who couldn't really keep up. Look at how that script has shifted when we go into the second half of game number 6, with ODL 5-0 up at about the halfway point, and you know, it's still a long time of this to go. That Berserkers essentially are just going to have to sit through and think about what they're going to do going into game number 7, because this is going to be 5 minutes to decide it all. Surely you use your timeout, right? Because you've seen how much the timeouts benefited ODL McGain. Surely you've got to have a crack at it yourself, because the past few games have been disappointing, to say the least.
Yeah, they will 100% use their timeout after this game. After all, it has been over 8 minutes since their last goal. Sorry, actually, probably longer than that. I mean, since the start of the last game, they haven't scored anyway. And they've let in 7 within that same time, so they will definitely be using their timeout to figure out what just happened. What kind of switch up have ODL made as GT Thunder not able to get a touch, Buckets just faking him out, not letting him have any sort of sight of it. Damo finding one, Buckets honestly helping him out a little bit as that ball goes downfield. Mailer not able to do too much, it's not on target, so it does get put away. Andre also making sure it doesn't find its way in, but Damo, he may have found one finally. After however long they've not scored, they finally put themselves back on the mark.
Certainly do. And it is a goal here for Drengia. You'll take every single one that you can get to start making yourselves believe again in this next minute. But it's so difficult mentally to come back from a situation like this, even sort of preparing for the next game, right? You're looking at this thinking, you know, oh, everybody's going to be thinking we're going to have choked this, and you know, you're going to be thinking, oh, how have we thrown this one? Look at, you know, a couple of games ago we controlled this series so well. What's happened now? You know, they're going to be already thinking, you'd imagine, that they're probably out of this one, and maybe a timeout is what you need because 30 seconds left. It's 6-1 here on Neo Tokyo. Champions Field in game number 7 is imminent to decide which one of these teams goes through to Saturday and which one of these teams has their season come to a close here and now. But this series has been a great one at that, and it only feels like it's going to have a cinematic ending to see one of these two teams through to Saturday. Excuse me. It's 7. It's a Brazil. It's complete domination from ODL again.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it has been insane. Andre has the same amount of shots as everybody on Drengia combined, which is insane to think of, and he has triple their amount of goals. Buckets being the main shooting that he is, Endrick is able to force an own goal, and it's just unfortunate now for TBK.
Yeah, I mean, Styles Neo Tokyo, but Damo's Tokyo drifting into the own goal. I mean, 8-1 down, what are you going to do? You've just got to laugh about it at this point, or you're going to be crying in 5 minutes' time. It could be a 9th, not quite. Kept out for a moment, but for how long? As it rattles off of the crossbar, the whiff is there. Endrick makes it 9. Stop, they're already dead. And Champions Field is next up after this. I mean, mentally, what do you even do? I'd be so interested to see the timeout buttons pressed here.
Yeah, if this isn't a timeout, this is like the clearest timeout ever, by the way. If this doesn't become a timeout, I'm going to be wondering what are they on. And
if nothing else, if you've got nothing to talk about, you might as well just stall your opponent's momentum.
Yeah, literally. Like, if they don't call a timeout, can I have whatever you're on? But that's a great shot from Damo. It is a consolation within this game, but at least it's something for the road. Maybe this is the start of some momentum for them, hopefully?
I wouldn't go that far. It's about the only great thing they've done all game. But regardless, the tactical timeout button is pressed by this Berserker's Drengia side, and rightfully so there. You've got to find something to come back into a game number 7. And after that, it's going to be so difficult to do just that. But, you know, you've got to give it your best effort. And if that comes in the form of a tactical timeout, what do you even talk about? Is it just a sort of a mental chill 2 minutes, do you reckon, here to Zeke? Or, like, you know, they've not been great for the past few games, so is it their strategy? Is it their sort of game plan here that's not really going to plan?
I don't know, you know, I genuinely think it could just be a case of them at least taking a minute anyway to kind of relax and understand what, just like think in their own heads, kind of give themselves a mental break. But I think that second minute will indeed be a case of actually talking, understanding what went wrong, just kind of giving a sense of what can we fix? What can we make better? How do we improve? Do we become more aggressive? Do we try hold out a little bit on defense, try and actually get that ball cleared away rather than it just being bouncing back and forth in their final third? Hopefully they can find an answer because they're gonna really, really need it.
Certainly so. Well, game 7 booting up here between these two sides, and well, that timeout has about 30 seconds left on it before we head into our deciding match here in this series between these two teams. ODL Majane versus Berserkers Drengia. One hailing from the Ignis Conference, one hailing from the Glacies Conference. People have been talking so much about which conference is going to come alive more in the playoffs. And, well, it's time to find out who the first representative is going to come from heading through to Saturday. I mean, heading to Champions Field here, Tez. The teams, the players joining onto the pitch itself. 5 minutes. Put it on that clock because it all goes down here and now. One team faces elimination. One team faces qualification through the lower bracket and advances to Championship Saturday. Let's go, and already ODL with the pressure.
Bucket's trying to find a double there, but wasn't able to turn the car the way he would have wanted. Endrick finding a pass out to Andre, but it does get met by the defense of TBK. The demo coming through, but no follow-up from ODL means that it does stay 0-0, but not for too long. They keep it alive. GT Thunder able to get a great save coming through. He was backwards and everything, and just about able to make sure TBK keep it at a 0-0 standpoint. That double from Andre is not at all what he would have wanted. It sends Hendrick down the other side of the field as GT Thunder off the sidewall, trying to find a second touch. Buckets does beat him to it. Hendrick finding one as well, but it is staying 1-0, 1 minute down.
Yeah, for me, that save there beforehand from GT Thunder, save of the series, if not the day so far. And not just in the context of this game as, you know, a standalone game of Rocket League, in terms of the series, in terms of the mentality here for both of these teams, and, you know, where things stand in the context of game number 7 in this series. Because, you know, Tez, if we talk about things realistically, Berserkers, you've got to score first here. After what's just happened, you need to get that first goal on the board and show why you are here to play, why you are still to be contended with here on Champions Field. And well, we've seen how potent the pressure can be from both of these sides when, you know, they're on it, but it feels like such a momentum shifty game. And going off of that, you'd have to say ODL favoured absolutely here going into this game number 7. But Andre will get beat out there. Hendrick to throw it high onto the back wall. ODL looking to circle here with some of this pressure once again. And Buckets will have another touch in field. Andre waiting to try and shoot it on target, but just a little bit too wide.
He wasn't able to find the mark. Maybe the pressure got to him here, as there's a demo on GT Thunder, makes the offense of TBK worsen as that 50 goes on to the backboard. Buckets is up already. GT Thunder, a great save. Maybe they're able to get another touch. No dunk coming through. Andre finding an extra, not able to turn it through the infield post as Hendrick bangs that one downfield, trying to do something himself. GT Thunder, a good touch to bang it further downfield. Mather in the corner, trying to just find a pass midfield. It's not working out just yet. Hendrick getting one, will play it to the side, trying to find a pinch, not able to do too much else with it. A pinch coming through from a double commit on TBK helps that ball go downfield. Andre, no touch. GT Thunder is able to capitalize, and Team Berserkers, after what looked like a horrendous game 6, find the lead early on, or not early on, sorry, way past the halfway mark in this game in game number 7.
GT Thunder, what a performance so far he's had in game 7, dragging Drengia, kicking and screaming potentially to a series win in the next 2 minutes to Saturday through that lower bracket. But you still got ODL to contend with, who they have not given up this whole time, and you can imagine that theme will stay consistent as Hendrick powers through on that response. ODL Majane with a regain and potentially into a series win. If they keep stuff like that up, magical from McGain.
The double commit does not help in the side of Drangear, and that is probably what made the issues occur. Buckets trying to go off of that kickoff, not able to this time. Endrick is up quickly, so GT Thunder not going to get a touch. Endrick again trying to fake out the shot. The demo comes through, and Andre able to fling it through the smoke screen.
Yeah, Endrick, so much value found there onto that defender. Second man not expecting it. And the shot just rolls into the back of the net before Drangear can react. And they've got 1:40 now to react to this game state and see how they find that response. Will it come from Dark Soul? It was so fast earlier on in this series. I want to see that again here from this Drangear side. Or you see him already diving in there. The idea's there, the execution just lacking a little bit here, Tez. And it feels like we've resorted as a whole in Game 7 to, you know, boom ball, clearing things, a little bit panicky at times, not really controlling the possession like it has been the past few games. People are getting panicky, people are making rash decisions, and you can't really do that at this stage of the game. But now, 2 players floating, somebody's got to score it. GT Thunder, can he put it in? No! It's great defense from this ODL side, but the double commit has certainly not helped out this Berserkers team there.
Oh my word, that ball dropping down again, the bump onto Andre, GT Thunder is there! 2-2 with 50 seconds remaining, and this is anybody's game.
The man can do no wrong here for his side. Berserkers Drangear battling to the bitter end as GT Thunder, a crucial save earlier on, and the goal now to bring things back potentially into their hands, but Endrick and Andre can tear it away from them. One skate kept to the top 6 for so many seasons in a row, and that goal could be the one that sends Andre, that sends ODL McGain through to Championship Saturday here through this lower bracket. 41 seconds. Over to you now, Drangear.
They need to find an answer quickly. Time is not on their side. Mather, can he find the pass down? Bucket's able to get a good interception through. 30 seconds left for Team Berserker's lives as that ball goes downfield. Mather finding a clear out once again. Demo trying to be in the way of Andre, but Buckets will be able to find an extra touch. GT Thunder is stuck in the midfield, but nobody's home right now for ODL. The pass is down, the demo helps out GT Thunder, and as people have said so far in Academy discussion, this is absolute cinema.
It absolutely is. And Berserkers will not go down without a fight. ODL punished again for the careless throwaways of that possession. And into the final few seconds now, we'll see if it all ends in fireworks from Endrick. Not quite on that double tap. Matathor Dark Soul down the other side that will look to capitalize. His Buckets will let it drop. 0 seconds. Game 7 overtime. 1 goal ends the season. 1 goal puts a team into the top 8 of Academy.
And this is incredible to witness. GT Thunder getting bumped by his teammate, but Andre is awkward with low boost. The bump comes through as well. Andre able to hold his ground for now. GT Thunder finding 1 touch. The 50 comes through. Mather having to just take his time, try to relieve some of the pressure, buy his team some time as well. GT Thunder, a big whiff coming through, but Damo gets the clear downfield. Buckets place it to the corner. Endrick is there waiting, able to get a good touch, but Mather incredibly just reads his play as that ball gets 50s into the midfield. Buckets keeping it in the corner for now. It's still stuck there. It's been here for a solid few seconds. The net open, but Mather able to get back just in time, gets the save. Andre and Endrick diving onto that ball. It's another shot coming through from Andre, and that sends ODL through to playoff Saturday. Team Berserkers, your season is over, and have a good night.
Well, like a phoenix from the ashes, it couldn't be said by the pathetic fallacy of that goal explosion any better. ODL Esports take down Berserker's Drengia here to Zeke. And well, I mean, a redemption story for the ages in that series. Ice in their veins. What a series. Absolute cinema in every level of the game.
And it was such a close series. As you can see, a game 7 overtime. And it seems as though ODL were able to get the better, and they find themselves going through this post-series stats there, the 9-goal win helping out ODL in the goal standard, but before that one, it was as close as you could ask for.
Certainly so. Well, we've had a look at the post-series stats. Let's have a look at, you know, the rest of the stats that we've got to look at here. Let's talk about series MVPs. And, well, it's got to be Endrick. You have a look at this. Endrick, normally known for, you know, being one of the more mechanical players in the academy tier, being one of the faster players in the academy tier, being, you know, the one that brings the pizzazz to the team here, Tez. But I'm looking at that demo statistic there because that's what gave them so much space to play with in so many sort of difficult situations that they had to navigate throughout that series. And it helped ODL McGain regain from game 5 where, you know, they were scrapping to find goals to game 7 where they stand at the top of the, I guess, play-in stage here from day number 1. It is, at the end of the day, the Glacies representative who makes it through. And, well, maybe people are going to be proved right after all here with some of that Glacies dominance predictions. What a series. What a day. But, Tez, we're not done just yet. We've got another series coming up, don't we?
We do. We have Brave Arconics versus DSQ Livens after this. And that is going to
Good
be,
one.
and that's going to be incredible. I'm so looking forward to see how that goes down. But hey, that's not too far away. I think that's you beeping sheep, if I remember right, casting that
It
one.
might be, might be. It might be. Well, that's going to be a great series, and we'll get into that in a sec. But it's two teams who are playing under two unusual circumstances here, so we'll touch on that more very, very shortly. But an upper bracket match coming right up where we get to send one team forward in the upper bracket and one team gets to play ODL again round 1 in the lower bracket on Saturday. You're not going to want to miss this next match, and it's coming up right after this break.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the next rendition of your play-ins action here in the Academy tier. Day one continues, and it reaches its it reaches its closure essentially with our final series of the day. It is the upper bracket. It is DSQ Livens versus Brave Arconics, and it is two teams who have had a pretty decent league play season so far here, Beeping Sheep. But it's also two teams who are playing under interesting conditions due to health issues. Rio is unable to play today, so Brave are going to be using their sub in Danify, and then I believe DSQ are going to be without their captain Teuton and are going to be playing with Kai's Dirty Dwarf and Mersu, I want to say. So rosters all over the place here and now, and I mean, it's going to be chaos. What more could you ask for our final game of the day?
Well, yeah, for the very least, I think these teams are very glad, at least one of them will be, that they have two lives. Because, of course, as you said, neither of them are playing at full strength that they possibly could be. But being in that upper bracket, you have got that buffer, which means whatever happens, both of these are going to be through to playoff Saturday. So this is just essentially a match of keeping that extra life on Saturday and going on to face Team Serene in the next round. But as of so far, for those who did miss the last couple of series, we did have a couple of pretty damn close series, of course, that starting off with Deathcloud versus ODL being a 4-2, and then just following on just now, which I hope everybody else saw, because as Hodge said many times in the series, it was absolute cinema, but when it all was said and done, Drongir could not stop the Magain train, who advanced through to Saturday and will go on to play the loser of this match.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And well, we look towards that upper bracket match now. Livens versus Arconics. It's going to be a fun one for sure. Both of these teams, when we talked about the league play performance, top two for Brave in the Ignis Conference, and top three in the Glacies for DSQ. And given who's in the Glacies Conference, top three was all you could hope for most people. So certainly a good season for both of these teams here. But it's time to make our predictions, and it's impossible to predict anything because not only is it Academy, it's also, both teams just not playing with their usual rosters. So who knows what's going to happen here, Sheep. But yeah, I'll come to you first. What have you got for the prediction?
Honestly, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but right now, I reckon, because I've casted Flint in the past, earlier on in the season, and he absolutely popped off, and he's a breakout main, I'm going to bias myself towards that. I think, although Livens were undoubtedly in the tougher conference, I do think that it's going to be Brave walking across to the upper bracket on Saturday this time. I think they're going to take this one in 6. It'll go to Neo Tokyo, but I think Flint will be another standout once again, and we'll see Brave marching onwards.
Yep. Well, we will see how things are going to go here, Sheep. I'm going to go with Brave 4-3 here. I think this is going to go 7 again. I think that the conditions are just, too random for this not to be close both sides. If it was one team and not the other, maybe it'd be a bit more of a different series and I'd have it going more so one way. But I think this is going to be close again. I think it deserves to be. The winner is going to move forward to play Team Serenito on Saturday, and the loser will face ODL Magain in that lower bracket. So anything's going to happen, Sheep, and well, I think we're ready to let's get this one started.
Yep. So one final series then of the day, and of course we've got 2 teams, 2 lives, possible 7 games and 1 shared goal to get across to Saturday to face Team Serene, to give yourself a foot up, and it's game day with the other 2 casters.
Welcome everyone to Manfield Night. We're kicking off the upper bracket of the Academy play-ins, and what a matchup we have for you, taken in by Hodge and Beeping Sheep. I'm Char as well. We're doing a TriCast for this matchup.
Surprise.
Let's get underway.
Well, surprises all round, and who's going to find us a surprise on the pitch here today? Game number 1 getting itself started right here and now, and it's the top goal scorer of the RSC League as a whole, Flint, who was already leading the charge there, trying to find that opener and identify that sub that they've recently picked up for this side. It's brought them great success, but now has to do it under the big lights here, Sheep.
Yeah, the Manfield lights are daunting in a playoff setting, but as far as I know, Flint, I can see an absolute pop of performance coming. I said it beforehand, and I'll say it again just now. It's still 0-0 for the first 30 seconds. We've had no clear-cut chances so far, but I think that's just because each team is really just getting used to, in a way, the makeshift rosters that they have. Like, because Kai's, I don't know what you 2 have seen of him, but me personally, not so much so far. There hasn't been all too much to talk about, apart from a miss there from Kai's. Hopefully, that's not going to be repeated, but Fatty Kai will open up the scoring.
Yeah, the DSQ defense there, just not able to make contact. Kai's flies right past it, and Kyle needs no further invitation to open the scoring here for Brave Arconics. 1-0 up, just under a minute gone. Can Livens respond here? Kyle needs to get this one away. Not a lot of boost. Goes down Dwarf with a really nice challenge. That's into the middle. Danify, though, manages to clear it away. Kai's trying to keep that pressure on off the ceiling. Mercer's up for it, but Danify again on the defense.
Certainly so. It's been tested here time and time again by this DSQ Livens side, and it will be sort of beat out there. Flint over to Fatty Kyle. About a minute and a half gone so far. We've seen chances both sides, but it has been this Brave Arconics side who've capitalized on, you know, their sort of lion's share of them, taking the lead so far. Now, you talked about individual players who's going to make the difference. Beforehand, it's Fatty Kyle who's been incredible at finishing these chances here for Brave so far. The setup from Flint once again, and it's Fatty Kyle who makes it 2 for Arconics.
It's the Flying Scotsman putting that one netwards once again. Early 2-goal lead for Arconics, and Livens have got their work completely cut out for them in this opening game. Flint doesn't quite get the touch he wants, but that goes back towards Danify. Plays it a little bit safe as well. Now Mersu in the middle, trying to find a goal back, or at least a chance back. Does end up beating Kyle as well. Forces a clear out from Danify. Dirty Dwarf looking to follow that. Can't get on target, though. Leaves Flint now with a clear. Not much boost, though. And everybody just seems to be stumbling right now. I've not seen many clean landings since this second goal's happened. Everyone is just scrambling in a way. Now Kai's on the ball, tries to get a bit of control, does end up beating Flint with it as well. Now tries to go into the middle. One person waiting, but Kyle, the man who has been everywhere for Arconics in game number 1, clearing it so far. Now Danify over 50 towards Kyle, looking for his hat-trick. Won't even find a shot, let alone a centre ball. But we would like to see a little bit more from Livenshire, because they've really not offered much so far.
Yeah, half the game gone here. 2-0 down for this Livens side. Like you say, they really need to step it up. Going down, losing that first game in the series is not what you want to be doing. You want to get off to that good start, especially in these best of sevens, getting that momentum starting to roll. But on the flip side of that, the best of sevens certainly gives the opportunity for them to turn it around. But they still have 2 minutes to do that in this game, and they've got a little bit of pressure, but Fatty Kyle will just take all that away. This has been such an impressive game 1 from him individually, a player that has been kind of flip-flopping between Prospect and Academy for the last few seasons and has really come into his own this season for Brave. Obviously the GM as well, he is Brave through and through, and he is proving it here in this game 1.
Absolutely. And into the final minute and a half, the SQ Livens need to find something, and they need to do it soon. We'll ricochet back out to Mersu. Flint tries to sort of shadow this one back. Danify will leap up for it. Flint cuts it back over to this corner, and he might not have a lot of RSC experience, but he's got so much Rocket League tournament experience that he's been such a great addition to the league for not just RSC as a whole, but also for this Brave side of things. Has been the top goal scorer and has been one of the better low-value players, if not the best low-value player in the Academy tier so far this season. Danify catching it, trying to force it through past Mercy and make it 3, but Brave, they seem to think they've got this game number 1 on lock, and well, they're making a confident stand as to why that should be the case.
They absolutely are, and although Livens are fighting, they just don't have the resources for it at the moment. Not quite the boost to work with it, and Kyle just taking that towards the other end. Even still, just looking to kill the clock a little. Every second spent in that blue half is a second they can't score with, and that is unfortunately not what they need right now. Mersu desperately trying to clear that one away, just goes back as far as Flint. They know they can take all the time they need, but Dirty Dwarf maybe one more. Does beat one. Fatty Kyle will be there. Mersu into the middle. These shots, though, they're not on target, and they're not what Livens need. And as another couple of demos comes in, that clock is almost up. That hourglass is almost completely full of sand on the bottom. Kai's maybe one more chance. Save comes in from Flint. That should do it for game number 1. It's a brilliant start from Arconics, and that puts them 1-0 up in the series.
Yeah, it certainly does. Brave Arconics taking the lead here to kick things off, and well, they had the lion's share of the pressure, the lion's share of the chances. They essentially ran rampant, and Livens, you look at Mercy with those 5 shots and a save here and there, but if you can't get the team around you and the shots put on target, none of that matters really. And well, I think Arconics was just the more convincing team in terms of together, and that can be expected, right? They've got the most experience in terms of the mixed up rosters here, Sheep. You've got the likes of Danify, who, although they've only picked up a couple of weeks ago as their new sub, it's still, you look at the comparison. Kai's has been signed not too long ago. I mean, about a week ago, maybe. I don't know. Dirty Dwarf, he's their sub. They've not played too many games with him in general. So this feels like it's going to be a battle of, not just who can show up on the day, but also if Livens can sort of have that experience and learn really quickly on the bounce, because they've not got too much time at all to make that happen. But into game number 2 we go. Over to Forbidden Temple we go, and we're going to get started here to see if DSQ Livens can bounce back, or if Arconics are going to continue to run rampant. Char, we're going to get into game number 2 here, and well, I guess sideline pundit, if you will. Do you want to give your expert evaluation of what we should expect here?
Yeah, I think that, like you say, Livens, they don't have the experience kind of playing together as the sub and the new signing being on this team, but Mersu is a player that is so good for this Academy tier. Dirty Dwarf as well. He may be min, but he's experienced, and I know he has been on DSQ a lot ever since I first signed him as my sub in my first season on DSQ. I think there's only been 1 or 2 seasons that he hasn't been on DSQ, so, and he managed to pick up a trophy as well in that time, so he knows DSQ, he loves DSQ, and he wants to get this done, but right now it is just looking so tough for them, Beefing Sheep.
Yeah, the boy in the blue and purple really just does need to try and power his team through. This absolute veteran of the org needs to, I suppose, just spur them on a little bit, because as you both said, there's a bit of a lack of chemistry at the moment, which has seemed apparent so far. It has seemed, at least in game 1 anyway, the better of the 2 teams to work as a team is that Arconic side, and Danify, the new sub, coming through for goal number 1 with a perfect slot into the bottom corner. But I don't know if you noticed as well, Hodge, that defense was nowhere to be seen.
It wasn't, and you talk about players who min players who add a lot of value. Danify certainly showing why he is one of those players. But yeah, you also mentioned it, the defense just not really existing here for the side of DSQ Livens, and it looks like the lower bracket could be what approaches for them very, very shortly, unless they're able to turn things around. But it's going to be Kais who rises up. It's going to be dropped down by Danify. He beats him out on the 50 and dunks him instantly. Minute and a half into this one, and Brave Arconics hold the lead. DSQ Livens yet to score in this series. How long before we can, stop saying that? How long before a shot ricochets into the back of the net because the dry spell can't continue?
Yeah, and it just seems like that's all it's going to be right now. They don't have a lot of pressure. They have a little foray forward right now, but even there, it's just shot down by Flint into the middle. Fatty Cal trying to reach it, gets a slow roller, and Dirty Dwarf will be able to deal with that one, but Livens, they just send it right back into the hands of Arconics, and they really can't get out now. The ball kind of stagnating there on the sidewall. That's a shot from Danify, but Kais is able to make the save, and now trying to spark some sort of counter-attack here. Mersu plays the 50. Dirty Dwarf comes in as well, looking for the double. Leaves it for Mersu, but just no power on the shot, and now they have to defend again.
Well, it's a great sort of tap over there by Danify. Sorry, I completely forgot you existed there, Beeping Sheep. I forgot what we're doing here, but yeah, about 2.5 minutes left of this series, and well, Brave Arconics just continuing to control it, right?
Yeah, it's just looking to be the case right now. Mersu, of course, trying to change that a little bit. Demo's coming in now, but this boost total from Brave just seems to be too much for them right now. Flint now with 100. I say that. Danify and Kyle both very low, but not low enough to be stopped. They know that now that they're 1-0 up, if it comes to it, they can just hunker down in defense and boom it away, and that's exactly Danify's plan. He's already scored with one of these, tries to make it a second as well. Flint playing the late fake as it would be, but Kyle good 50 as well to keep that in the blue half. We've said that so much in these first two games. It's all been played in the blue so far. Orange has not seen a blink apart from a couple of chances. Maybe right now could be the one, but Dirty Dwarf with the bump, Kais with the finish. They're on the board though now. Are Livens, and a little bit out of nowhere, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, very much against the run of play here. Kais adding DSQ's first goal on the board here in this series. 1.5 minutes to go in game number 2 on Utopia Coliseum, and suddenly it is all a little bit more interesting. Mersu off his own backboard. Fatty Kyle with the shot, but that one just careens over the net. Danify now up for it. Not a lot of boost to work with. Mersu can't get that one past Kyle. It's going right back to Brave pressure. Flint, though, maybe could have turned on that one just a little bit sooner, and now Kais can try and take it forward. Here's Dirty Dwarf trying to put it forward, but it's just sent right back into the Livens half, and now they have to go back to the drawing board.
Absolutely do. Danify going to take this one up that side wall. Will be Dirty Dwarf who instantly just pursues this one into the corner. You can tell Livens, they want something here, and well, it means so much to them in the context of this series. You lose this second one, you're starting to look at timeouts. You win this one, all of a sudden things are stabilized, and they're looking to cook some of this pressure here in the offensive side. Dirty Dwarf to the sidewall, Fatty Kyle will clear. You can't let your defense crumble here. Again, DSQ, it's haunted you so much, it feels like. It's Mercy with a reset. It's Mercy who's going to guide it downfield, but it will end up in this corner. DSQ still hold on to the possession, but 20 seconds left. They've got to maintain that. They've got to be faultless.
They really do have to be faultless, and it's a clear out from Kais. And I will say, in the second half of this game, since that equalizer has gone in, they've really turned it on, have DSQ. Kais as well. One more chance before overtime. Has to stop the center from Danify there, who can't even find the touch. And I would like to see exactly what Livens have been doing. We've seen Dirty Dwarf swimming through that back line of Arconics, just getting these bumps, getting these demos. He's a Dirty Dwarf indeed, and that's what we need to see more of if they're going to win this game number 2, Chur.
Yeah, that is something that Dirty Dwarf does very, very well. Maybe not the most mechanically gifted on the ball, but he makes it so difficult for the other team to play. And Arconics are going to have to deal with that in this overtime if they want to take it home. This is a chance that's dropping down! And Kais gets the goal. I think Mersu was there. I think it might have ended up being an own goal, but Livens won't care. They take game 2.
Well, Kai's a player who has taken many paths this season, from starting things on Death Cloud to FA subbing wherever needed around the block, to now finding a home on DSQ Livens here for the playoffs. Might not be the person who created the chance, but he's the one who scores it and the one who gives game number 2 over to DSQ Livens here, Sheep. I mean, such a better showing from them. It only started halfway through the game as well. I mean, Arconics controlled this for a lot of it, but at the end of the day, Livens were able to get some goals on the board in the end. And, well, for that, they will take game number 2 and level the series.
They do. Everybody gets their credit for that game number 2 from Livens. From that bounce back from 1-0 down, and from what we saw, 2.5 minutes pretty much straight in that blue half. And it just happened to be that the entire team, I suppose, turned it on its head. We saw, in that last goal especially, Dirty Dwarf with a demo to really open things up. Kai's into the middle, Mersu with a pull shot. Everybody doing their own little bit. And I know we talked about chemistry at the start of this game, and I know you mentioned they've got to learn quickly. And from what we've seen in this one, they're certainly showing signs of learning quickly, because these last 2 goals as well, they've really amplified that Livens, although they may have a makeshift roster, they're certainly here to stay, and they absolutely want to make themselves a threat in this playoffs.
Yeah, Livens, they don't want to go out without a fight here. They're not going to go out without a fight. They tie up the series 1-1. We're down to a best of 5 to decide who keeps that upper bracket spot heading into Championship Saturday. Who will meet Team Serene Unito in the upper semis, and who will drop down to face ODL, which is a very, very tough matchup as well that I'm sure both of these teams will want to avoid. They both want to head into it with that extra life. It's so, so crucial for both of them that will have aspirations of taking it all the way. It all comes down to the next potentially 5 games.
Yeah, doesn't it just? And Flint's going to tap that one downfield, get on the end of his own ball here. Flint, didn't have the greatest game number 2. Has been such a high impact player for this side. We've talked about it so much already, but he spent the break in between game 2 and 3 typing in Twitch chat. So let's see if maybe that's calmed him down a little bit. Who knows? It'll be Danify to throw this one over to the corner. Brave's just looking to try and get out of this defensive side. It's a touch there from Flint, but it's a throw to the back wall from Kai. It's the follow-up sort of tampered with here by DSQ Livens. A bit hesitant almost, but it's all about, I think, for these 2 teams, especially from this game state, this first goal here, Sheep.
Yeah, this would be huge, especially, I think, for Arconics, because that first minute, Livens, they've realised they can take a game, they've realised they can score goals, and they do smell blood in the water. We've seen from that opening minute, they had their fair share of shots there. They've had the lion's share of it so far. We've seen a lot spent in this orange half. Mersu trying to get that one just to the backboard. Danify forced awkward. Maybe Dirty Dwarf will find the shot. Goes just above the corner of the goal there. And another chance gone for the side of Livens. Maybe Mersu has another, but Danify locking down on defense, who, of course, had a pretty good game number 2, albeit they did lose the game. Danify really did seem to step up. Goal, 4 saves, everything like that. And it's what you need from a 1200 touch himself, because these low-value players are really the key, because I've heard it said before, you're only as strong as your weakest player, and these low value players, if they can prove themselves, they can absolutely make a roster like Brave, like DSQ, Dirty Dwarf and Danify being these 2 players. And with all this being said, we've still not had a first goal, and the pace of the game on top of this chart has just seemed to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, half the game gone 0-0, like you say. Mersu trying to get a nice touch there, but that will just fall straight into Flint. Dirty Dwarf again with the demo, just disrupting that defense. Now Dwarf just can't make the connection on that mid, and Fatty Cow will take it away. Kais is there though. Danify trying to take it forward, 50'd out by Mersu. Now Dwarf just sending this one forward, going up for it as well, getting it past one, forces the save out of Danify, but we've seen this series so far that Danify is no stranger to making those saves. Fatty Cal as well, no stranger to making those offensive plays. That's into the middle, no one from Arconyx there to connect. Mersu can't get it past Flint. Arconyx, they're trying to start putting some pressure on. They're getting a little bit more settled in the Livens half, but still, we saw in that game number 2, it was all Arconyx and then one DSQ counterattack, and all of a sudden it was flipped.
Yeah, definitely. It's on a nice edge, it feels like, a lot of the time. Fatty Kyle will get this one in field. Flint keeping that one away. This one's still not giving way here for either side, and still finding ourselves at a 0-0 deadlock tie. For how long, though? Because the shot threatened by Dwarf. Flint, great save away, and down the other side, Kai's has to react. Looking to set himself up for a corner double, and that will get the play started here on the attack for DSQ. Mersu creates the chance, but taken off the field. Kai's, though, perfect positioning, perfect follow-up.
That's a slot. That is a slot and a half from Kaiser. 2 people in goal, no problem at all. Puts it perfectly behind Kyle as well. Has to back up into it. Doesn't get the touch he wants. Flint, as dapper as he looks, could not get it either. And that puts Livens 1-0 up, puts him into the lead for the 2nd game in a row now. And that is now 3 unanswered goals from them, which doesn't sound that much, but in the case of this series, which for Academy has been a relatively low scoring one, can be the difference. But Flint, oh my word, what a flick. Couldn't quite get the finishing touch, but really tried to make something out of not much of a chance there. The only problem is Arconyx need a goal. I know he very much tried it, and that was a flick and a half, must I say. But Danify, maybe one more, loses the ball a little bit there. One touch though, Dirty Dwarf forced into a save. Final 20 seconds. I'd like to see Arconyx find something, but the way this game's gone, besides that one chance from Flint there, it's been, I guess, just a bit of a filler game, you could say, Char.
Yeah, maybe a last push here, but nothing doing for Arconyx. It goes back into their half. Dirty Dwarf trying to add another one, doesn't get it. Flint will send it away, but it is 0 seconds. The ball has hit the floor, and Hodge, from 1-0 down, DSQ Livens have completely turned it around.
They absolutely have, and we know how best of 7s can sort of change as, you know, series go on here, Char. I mean, we saw it even beforehand, right? In that series with Berserkers and ODL, it was early control from Berserkers, and then the script was flipped here. So I'm not surprised to see, you know, how things are going, and I wouldn't be surprised if it also flipped back the other way, knowing how incredible Arconyx can be when they do play their game. But certainly improvements needed, right? There's been some shots, but the saves from DSQ Livens, the positioning from them, Kai's for me as the impactful player that's making the difference here for Livens. I mean, everybody is, but I think this guy's positioning and some of the things that this guy's able to create. I mean, that cut back on defense into the corner double to send it downfield to create the opportunity for Mercy to even get the attack going, and then for him to be already positioning to follow that up as second man in the perfect spot. You can see it makes the difference, and it's making the team so much more easy to play around from a positional point of view. So DSQ Livens really, you know, stepping up to the occasion here, and now it's time for Arconyx to meet that match.
They really do, don't they? And honestly, I think of all the praise we gave him at the start of the series, we haven't said Flint's name all too much, besides that one flick at the end of game number 3. I think if it's going to come to Arconyx winning this game number 4, it's going to be down to Flint and what he can offer. Those moments of magic we've seen from him in league play, that top scorer status that I know you've mentioned as well. We really just need to see a playoff version that mirrors, if not betters, the league play, if they're going to topple the Livens here, because they're really getting a rhythm going, aren't they, now? Dirty Dwarf doing his thing, Mercy doing his thing, Kai's being that smart player, being that positional player that every single team needs, and he's doing a very good job of it. And as you said, Arconyx have just got to follow that one up.
Yeah. Kai's trying to take this one backwards, sorry. Paddy Cow on the sidewall, getting a touch into the corner. This is awkward for Livens. Arconyx, they started off this game really strong. That's a shot from Danify. Mersu forced into a save. Flint now a lot of time and a lot of boost. Tries to go for another flick. That one's just wide though. Manages to get it past 2, but the third man of the post proves to be effective there for Livens. Now that's a double off the player, almost from Kais. Both teams coming so close to finding the opening goal.
Yeah, that was brilliant there. The whole sequence of play from Kai's incredible. And I know when he was on Death Cloud at the start of the season, he praised a lot to me for how he performed as a player mechanically. The issues were, and why they got rid of him in the end were, sort of mental issues. I heard, left a scrim and a game at some point. And it wasn't going so well for them, but it certainly rebounded here on this DSQ side, and looks incredible. They look like they play really well around him, and things are going incredibly well so far. I wonder if mentality and mental as a whole could start to be a factor the later we get in this series, the deeper we continue. For now, absolutely fine though, and DSQ find themselves in the lead. And Brave are going to try and do what they can to beat back from that. That's a great ball over. Flynn's got to be there, though. Kai's just first and fastest to it, and is giving Brave a run for his money, for all three of their money here, in terms of, how they approach the game state and how fast they are to some of these balls.
Yeah, and I must say as well, Flint now is getting online. He's absolutely moonballing it. We've seen about 3 or 4 different flicks now, just really testing that defense from Livens now. They've responded every single time, or them or the posts have responded every single time, I should say. But now Danify trying to get a chance going, but it's only going to fall as far as Mersu off the orange backboard. This time Dirty Dwarf with the follow, but it's good from Kyle there. That could well be on target as well, if anything. Kyle with the final touch, and that counter-attack ended as soon as it started. It's going to be Brave opening up the scoring in game number 4, and who better than Mr. GM?
Yeah, Kyle just blocked that Dirty Dwarf shot and just kept on going. It bounced perfectly off his car, but he didn't stand and watch. He made sure he used all of his boost to get there ahead of the defender. And now Arconics, they have a lead with just over 2 minutes left in game number 4. What can Livens do to respond? Kai's into the middle, Mersu's onto it, trying to get it back in there, but Danify will win that race. Now trying to take it out again. Dirty Dwarf cuts it out, but Flint can just send it back. Both teams kind of just playing end to end right now. It's kind of pinballing between both of these teams on offense and on defense. Dirty Dwarf off the sidewall. Flint now, bit of a poor touch. That could be an opportunity, but no one from Livens willing to commit for that one. When you're a goal down with not that much time remaining, Hodge, you kind of need to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You've got to sort of just take those chances, and well, they've certainly probably got a few more left here with a minute remaining still, but you've got to make them count. Brave are still going to be on the prowl. They're going to want to try and add to their lead. Remember, this is Scottish players, not English players. They don't sit with a 1-goal lead. But yeah, 1 minute still remaining. And Danify looking to try and just break down this defense by himself. Fighty Kyle going to chase after this one with a great leap into the skies there for that. But nobody to follow the touch, and DSQ going to get a chance to maybe break free.
Kyle trying to take this one forward. Mersu off the sidewall. Into the backboard, trying to get it down mid. That's a nice demo. Dirty Dwarf coming through onto it. Off the corner. Kais is up for it, but he doesn't make contact with it. And with 30 seconds left, that one felt like a really good opportunity for this Livens roster. Time is ticking away. Kais manages to keep that one out, but the time is just running out. Can't get anything there. Arconics trying to clear this one out. Mersu hitting it off the post. So close for Livens. Another chance, maybe Kais doesn't make connection with it. And that will probably be it for this game number 4. If they can somehow keep this up, take it to the other side. They cannot. Arconics take game number 4. We're back tied.
Wow. Well, there's the halfway mark of the series. And there's 2-2. And we were started off at a best of 7. Then we went down to a best of 5. And now we're down to a best of 3. Each team just trading blows in between games. The way we could see this, I don't expect to see a timeout here from Livens just yet. I think if we're going to see any, it will be after games 5 and 6, because it has been a back and forth. It has been absolutely a back and forth series. Not throughout the games as such, not throughout each individual game, but as a whole, it seems to have been one team taking just more initiative, just enough to get a game off. And this time it's Arconics not letting that team of Liven's gel any more than they have done so far, tying that series up. Kyle getting back on scoring terms for his side as well. Flint absolutely locking in as well in this game number 4. And onwards and upwards towards the latter end of the series, where the nerves start to kick in for these playoff teams. We've got potentially 3 more. We've got at least 2 more. This is going at least to Neo Tokyo. But Beckwith Park is where everybody is going to set the tone and where one team, Hodge, is going to go to double match point.
Certainly so. And Flint's in the chat again. He says, I'm grooving. Based on his standards, I don't know if I'd go quite that far yet, but certainly able to get a save on the board already, 7 seconds in. So good start, I guess, for the top goal scorer in RSC. And maybe it's going to be Danify to get on the board early. Blocked out, though, by Kai's, saving it away. Both teams showing they can come online on their defense early on, not let those free attacks go to waste. And Kai's actually going to follow up that touch. DSQ Livens. He thought they maybe would have missed the easy opportunity on the open net there from Dwarf. Well, they kind of did, but it worked out because it was a great fake.
Exactly. I think Dwarf will tell you he made Danify jump with the fake and then just left it for his teammate and he slotted it away. Livens, they take an early lead here in game number 5. Can Arconics respond? Flint backflip there, and now Kais has a lot of space. That's not something you want to see if you're playing against him. Can't make anything happen on that occasion though. Mersu manages to make the challenge. Bump on the backboard. Kais trying to hit it across, but nothing doing on that occasion. Dwarf now keeping that pressure on. Flint forced into a clear. Can he follow it? Arconic's getting a little bit awkward, tripping over each other in the corner there. They're all tightly bunched. Flint trying to come through. Didn't expect the touch from Danify though. This looks so awkward right now from this Brave roster, Beeping Sheep.
It's a puzzle. That's exactly what it is. It's one that they've got to figure out, one that they really have to figure out, I suppose, not so much sooner, but definitely in the next couple of minutes, because from 1-0 down, we've just seen them stumbling over each other just a little bit there. Fake out from Kai's, intentional or otherwise. Lets that one go into his team's box, but Mercy will clear that one away. Now low on boost, Danify looking to get one back into the middle, and Kai's the only one with boost on his team. Kyle will beat Mersu and Dirty Dwarf clashing there. Thankfully, there's no one there with the follow. Mersu, desperate swat away there to get that out of that blue net. Maybe Danify, one more turn of the screw before this attack can come to a close, but nobody is on that same wavelength. Mersu will clear that one and get away, get a demo for his troubles as well. Fatty Kyle taking it back towards teammate, just looking for another hit off before Kais can get there, but Kais is just too quick for the side of Arconics right now. Mercy off the backboard as well, looks to drop down, but nobody ready for it. And Livens have certainly stepped out onto Beckwith, the better of the two teams, but there's still plenty of the game to go yet, Arj.
Absolutely is. Here's Flynn with a shot opportunity to level the scoreline, and he does just that. The man covered in gold looks to try and drag his team right to the top, and well, still a playoff Saturday away from that, but you've got to qualify for the upper bracket of it first, and that's what they're trying to do at the end of this series.
1-1 here, all tied up. Fanny Cal trying to add another one here for Arconics. Flint now to the backboard, looking for the double tap. Dirty Dwarf doesn't make connection, but neither does Flint. Danify can't find the net. Fanny Cal coming in, and Mersu gets it. Now the counter attack. Danify able to shut it out, though. That's something that has been so crucial all series for this Arconics roster. It's kind of been Danify on defense and Kyle on offense, but Mersu is ever present.
I will say Kaiser and Mersu, both these, the double spearhead, if you will, of the Livens offense. We've seen the link up all throughout the series so far, and that could well have gone in as it was, but what you need is a Mersu. You need that poacher. You need that person who's going to follow up any missed chances at all. Mersu just being there before everybody else, although as I say that, there's there's a little bit of a mix-up, and all of a sudden Kyle with a double sitter, but Flint will put it away. That was a scary one, Hodge.
Yeah, you've got to be scoring that. I'm sorry, you can academy as much as you want, but come on, get it in the back of the net, lads. What have I just watched? Flint there with the bailout at the final second, but I mean, that was a little bit too close for my liking. And if that's the sort of length that Arconics are going to have to go to put goals in the back of their opponent's net, then give the series win to DSQ already. And maybe Mercy's going to give the game win to them already. Still going to have to wait 1 minute and 45 seconds, but the lead's certainly in their hands. Now they've just got to hold on to it.
Yeah, Mercy. Everyone knew going into this season he would be one of those top players in Academy, not for his particularly impressive mechanical ability, but just for his consistency. I've teamed with him in Prospect before, and he's such a consistent player. Never or rarely makes those mistakes, is so consistent with the shooting, and he's just such a good player to have on your team, especially in the Academy tier, and he's proving it here in this game and in this series. Kyle, that's a bit awkward. Danify has to get there, but 50'd by Kai's Dirty Dwarf as well, keeping that pressure on Danify. Bit of an awkward touch, and this is an opportunity here for Mersu to send it back, but every player on this pitch right now, Sheep, is just kind of getting one touch and hitting it away. No one's really taking that time on the ball. Flint doing a little bit now, but it just needs to be a little bit more calm from these teams.
Yeah, it's prime Academy ball, if you will. Nobody taking all too much possession. Everybody just getting one touch, batting it off to the next and going, yep, that'll do for me. Mersu in that case getting 0 touches, so maybe there's a little bit of difference there now. 1 touch less than we saw. Kai's tried to find the dribble, but Fatty Kyle will immediately answer back. Now Mersu swatting it away. Once again, just giving away possession. It's as you're on about. Let's Danify go in towards, and as well, Kyle with the follow now. There's one last big attack if Brave can offer anything on Beckwith Park, but Mercy will keep a beautiful amount of control on that ball. Now Kai's just wasting all the time that he wants, flicking that one away, but Dirty Dwarf just wasn't ready for it, wasn't ready for that pass to go infield. Now Kyle, one more moment. Can anybody on Brave be the hero? Maybe there's one more shot, but Kai's letting that, not even letting that one drop. He's going to look to go the other way now. This is going to drop anyway, though, and it is Livens to go 3-2 up.
It certainly is. DSQ Livens 3-2 up, and double match point for them, like you said beforehand. The winner of game number 5 granting themselves that opportunity, and the timeout button being pressed here by Brave Arconics. So that will be started. They'll have 2 minutes to sort of talk about, what's happening essentially here and what they can do to keep themselves in this upper bracket. And you know what? I think there's no better time than a 2-minute timeout to go to our sideline reporter here, Char, and get his thoughts on, his expert opinion, his expert prospect player opinion, on what's been happening during this game, and maybe what this Arconics team's lacking compared to the Livens side.
You can't see my camera right now, but I looked in shock when you said expert opinion. But yeah, I think that Livens right now, Mersu in particular, I think Mersu is that big difference maker for this Livens side. It's not the mechanics. Kais is pulling out those mechanics, but Mersu just so consistent, ever present. Dirty Dwarf with the bumps and the demos as well. They're just making it so hard for Arconics to play against, and I think we saw it a little bit in that game, but I think what we really need for Arconics here is just a little bit of a step up from Flint for me, because Fatty Kyle's doing it on the offense. Danify is doing it on the defense. We know that Flint can do it. Like you said, top scorer in all of RSC, I believe. So if we get that step up from Flint, then they can definitely take this to Champions Field and take the series win home.
Yeah, I mean, Flint just needs to be, well, that superstar that we've seen from Arconics in, well, all season, if you will. That breakout player, double meaning, by the way, breakout player in Sense of the Car, which is the definitively the best car in Rocket League as well, biased opinion, but of course. But also having a breakout season, as you said, Hodge, he is a very big tournament player in the past, but of course, when you're in a league format, it can be also different. And he has stepped up, but now we're in his so familiar tournament format. We just need to see. We saw a bit of goal scoring from him last game, but albeit one of those was a late scramble of a tap-in after Kyle's double sitter. But with that 2 minutes being done, you'd like to think that Arconics have talked about it, have approached something different, and you'd like to see if they can find a way to stop Mersu and his team from winning on Neo Tokyo.
Well, Flint in the chat, whether this is Rocket League quick chat, we're not quite to Champions Field just yet, so maybe hold that quote for the time being, but Brave Arconics on their upper bracket last legs here as we move on to Neo Tokyo. They've got 5 minutes for that flame to reignite and burn bright into that game 7. But will they do just that? Or will they drop out here and now? Flint looking for that bump onto Kais, who instantly intervenes. Danify looking for the open net shot almost, but couldn't quite find it. It's chaos once again on the attack here from this Brave side, and it's DSQ Livens who have got their ducks in a row.
Yeah, 0-0 still, no goals to speak about, and maybe I spoke too soon. Kais can't get the contact. This is just bouncing around, and somehow it's not turned in for DSQ Livens. We'll find out if they look back on that one in regret. For now, they have a little bit more offense. Kais on the backboard. Can't get the second touch though. Dwarf trying to turn on it, doesn't get it right. Kyle just sends it back down, but Mersu will be saving that one. Flint now with the shot. Dirty Dwarf this time with the save for Livens. Arconics, they're starting to put a few shots onto that net. They're starting to test this DSQ Livens defense, but it is the other way that they need to worry about with Mersu.
You can offer as much as you want on the offense, but you've got to be equally responsible for any shots that come towards your net. And on that occasion, an unfortunate mid-pass there, place from Kyle towards Mersu, just left it a bit unstoppable for that Arconics defense. And they may let another one slip as well. Is Mersu looking to be the hero of the hour for Livens, and immediately off the kickoff, doubles the lead and makes the molehill of a 1-goal deficit into a mountain for Arconics.
Defense for the first minute and a half, almost, and then, you know, it felt like in the first minute really, and in the last sort of short time, they've been able to break out on some of those counter-attacks. They've been able to have chances of their own, and boy, have they took advantage of them. 2-0 here for DSQ Livens, 3.5 minutes away from sending themselves to a date with Team Sereni Nito in that upper brackets, well, semi-final, I think, if I'm getting it right. And that will be on Saturday, first match on the B stream. But for now, they've still got to get there. They've still got to contend with Brave, who they're certainly not done yet here. Flint from up high, going to look to drop that one down. Danify from this corner. Fight Kyle drives past the ball and gives the open net over to Mersu down the other side. DSQ Livens essentially walking it like a red carpet here on this Neo Tokyo Shah. They look destined to win this in a 4-2 fashion.
3 minutes to go. Livens have 1 foot in the upper semi versus Unito. Dwarf trying to add a 4th. That was a close one, and that rhymes. Kais trying to get the shot onto net, and it's in. Livens seems to be running away with this one on Neo Tokyo.
Livens are putting on a show. That duo again, Mersu and Kais, left, right, good night towards Arconics. 4 goals in fairly quick succession as well, all in under a minute. And Brave, bless them, as much as they tried in that opening part of this game number 6, they just look lost now. Ever since that first one went in, they've looked a shadow of their minute beforehand selves, if you will, and Danify gets it away. Does not want to make it any worse than it is. Maybe Flint with something, just some sort of consolation for his side, but he won't manage to find it. He gets bumped off by Kais, who's just been everywhere. He's been doing every single role, it feels like, for his team so far. Danify, 1 touch into the middle. Flint looks to be ready for it, but there's just no follow. He's forced into a 1-on-3 attack, can only get 1 touch from it. Furthermore, now Dirty Dwarf has a teammate to his left, wants to go for the flick on his own. Danify into a clear, but a clear's not good enough when you're 4 goals in the hole. Kais maybe wants to make it 5, but it is the overwhelming favourite for game number 6 now, which is completely in control.
Yeah, does certainly seem that way. Kyle downfield, and won't even get one. Kais is just there with the block, there to put it to a stop, and as much as Danify is going to try and intervene, there's just a player and a blockade at every single moment that they inch forward, Brave Arconics cut down at the halfway line, not allowed to advance. Mersu Kai is putting up the brick wall, Dirty Dwarf waiting below just in case it drops like that. And well, seal the deal, why don't you? Signed, sealed and delivered. DSQ Livens moving forward through the upper bracket. You'll see them on Saturday, and Team Serene certainly will. An upper bracket semi-final awaits.
Yeah, 5-0 is an almost insurpassable mountain here for this Arconic side. They put up a good fight. Both of these teams playing with unusual combinations to them, but ultimately it was not enough from Brave unless an absolute miracle happens here, but it won't. Dirty Dwarf will just walk this one into the net. 6-0. Thank you very much.
You look at Mercer as well. He's on his back. He's just relaxing as much as anyone would be. You like to see a timeout buff after a game like game number 5, but this is an absolute capitulation from Brave Arconics here. They tried to find an answer. They tried probing just a little bit, but it wasn't enough. And not only that, it wasn't even close. It's an absolute ripping apart of their side on Neo Tokyo. And it could very well be 6-1 maybe, but no consolation there either. Now Flint, anything at all to take with them to that lower bracket on the Sunday, but Mercy not letting it happen. Flint won for the road maybe, and it looks to be all that they have to offer, with ODL rubbing their hands together, knowing what they could possibly do to this Brave side.
Well, that's all still to come. For now, you mentioned it, Kais, also Mersu, whoever lying on their backs on this DSQ Live inside, sunbathing under the scorching Brave Blaze flame. But it's been anything but so far this series, and it will end on the sandy beaches of Brazil, it seems. 14 seconds left, and well, you can tell with the chat there from Flint at the top left, it is very much done. It is very much dusted. I don't know what it's been with beatdowns on Neo Tokyo today, guys. We saw it in the last series as well, and we've seen it again here, and now their own goaling at this point. Wrap it up. Have some fun with it. DSQ Lions, welcome to the upper bracket. Welcome to your match versus Serene. And, well, for the side of Brave Arconics, have fun down there with ODL. Good luck.
I honestly, I think Danify just didn't want the Brazil to happen, which is fair
You're just
enough.
hoping that.
Barca?
Fine.
It's a Barca. We got
Fine.
both. We got both. We'll take it. We'll take it.
It's a bingo card. What's next?
Travel the world.
What's next is Char. We just kicked Char off the broadcast. That's next on the bingo card. We didn't tell him though.
Oh,
But
no.
yeah, we'll find out anyway. This one's done. This one's dusted. 8-2 the scoreline, and well, it doesn't look like anything's really going to change in that regard. Or will it? 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 No, it doesn't get there quick enough. DSQ Livens surging through the play-ins, and well, what a series there up until game number 6. I mean, Sheep. It felt like it was going to be difficult for either one of these teams, and at the end of the day, it is DSQ who take full advantage.
Yeah, and it seems like we were both wrong in the end, but you know what? The thing I'm most glad about at the end of that series is everybody just had a little bit of fun. In that last minute, I think all 6 players know it was just completely over. And looking at these post-series stats as well, I'm actually surprised how Arconics, despite scoring far, far less, had more shots of the two teams. I suppose it's just a matter of not taking chances, but I've got full faith in them to regain. I've got full faith in Livens to just try any sort of thing against the behemoth that's Unito on that Saturday. I mean, you've got, well, them and Husky both being the 9-1 teams. Of course, we'll see Husky play tomorrow, but for this series tonight, that is a wrap. If we've got maybe any one more thing from our sideline reporter, sideline caster in Char. If there's anything else to add from the series, what have you got from us?
Well, first off, you can see on your screen series MVP Mersu. I think that's completely fair enough. Kind of, whilst it was 100% a team effort from that Livens team, all 3 players playing so well, he was kind of the glue that held that team together tonight and really gave them the building blocks to take down this Arconyx roster. And I'm not going to lie, I was a bit worried for them after that game number 1, where it looked like Arconyx just had complete control over this series and just much more chemistry, having played together more than this specific Livens roster, I would presume. But yeah, they managed to bring it back massively, and massive credit to Livens, and we'll see them in the upper bracket, see if they can take down Team Serenia Nito, who a lot of people are calling one of, if not the favorites for the entire tier.
Well, thank you very much for that, there, Char. No, it's been great to see these 2 teams playing on the field here, and obviously it will be DSQ who move forward, but Brave, a valiant effort, and we'll still get to see them play there on Saturday. But yeah, I don't know. You mentioned the glue there, Char, bro. Tazit casted beforehand. He's gone. He's not here anymore. Okay, well, yeah, if you know, you know. But yeah, it's been a great day of action here at Sheep. And well, you mentioned one of the games there tomorrow there, Char, as well, being that Chrome Husky game. Sheep, do you want to maybe talk a little bit about? I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot here. Any games that might be tomorrow? Anything that the viewers might have to look forward to?
That game, that Purpose Husky game, because if for anyone around last season in the playoffs, that was the grand final. That was, well, quite a battle for both teams. Of course, Purpose got away with it there, but Husky, last season and this season, do have a very similar roster, still around that Tawny and Rugi chemistry, and they've certainly made it work with their 9-1 in league play. Of course, there's no Ethan 2K, there's no JPEG on the side of Mistaken this time. They've got Chally and Tanny, but we've seen from those 2 in the past, as us 2 casted Hodge, back when, I think it was in season 16, where they did a best of 7 reverse sweep on Yanito. So there's that game to look forward to. There's, honestly, I think Ascent is another team to look
I think they're a
forward
good
to
dark
as well.
horse team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially 20R as well. I mean, Reverse has just hit 1600 on 20R, so anything can happen across any of these teams. It's going to be a brilliant day to watch, and I can't wait to see what happens. That's all coming up, though. For now, obviously, we've got to thank our wonderful sponsors that you can see at the top of your screen: Badass Studios, SpartanWare, trophi.ai, and then if you're using, if you're thinking of buying anything in the Rocket League item shop, please pop in code rsc-eu. You can see it right at the top of the screen above my camera. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, other than that, it's been an amazing day of action here. We've got another one coming very, very shortly tomorrow. So stay tuned, same time, same place. You don't want to miss it. Have a great night.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.